How y'all doing? What's going on? Welcome to the Messy Sweet Spot. If you guys can hear me out there, I need you to press that 1, okay? Some stuff been going on, and I need to know y'all can hear me loud and clear. When I tell you the stuff that I'm hearing about Diddy and Jeezy, both in hip-hop, both black kings, okay? They are both just out of hand. They are out of hand. Now, first, everybody and their mama talking about that Jeannie Ma. Ooh, and haven't we been talking about her for a minute now, ever since last year when we first hit the bombshell, Jeezy divorced her butt and she didn't even know it. How heartbreaking is that? To learn that your husband is divorcing you in front of the whole world without you even knowing about it. He wanted to embarrass her, humiliate her. But guess what? I'm hearing in the news, a lot of people got a lot of stuff to say about it, especially the black community. So that's why I opened my phone lines. I got to hear what y'all got to say, y'all talking points and everything. So make sure the phone lines are open right now, so you can call in the phone lines, or you can hit that link. We had a nice live last night, and I just want to say thank you all for being here, supporting, and all that jazz. And what recently came out with Jeannie Ma, she showed proof. She showed proof that Jeezy is a threat to her daughter. They have a little baby girl, and Jeannie, that is so precious to her. She says, Jeezy is so irresponsible. Do you know he leave AK-47s, guns all around the house? Jeannie said, I begged him to please lock these guns up, please. And you know, that's scary. Jeannie said the whole marriage, he has been DVing her, putting paws on her, choking her out, just doing horrible things. And I can imagine a man that do you like that and he having guns around. That's threatening, because anytime, any moment, he can get upset, take that AK-47 and pow. You know what I mean? That's what he got security for. So it is a lot of stuff that's going on with this. And a lot of people are feeling some type of way. I'm seeing a lot of comments. They're saying black girls stay out of it. Some people, what do y'all think? Shit. At the end of the day, Jeannie is a victim and she's a woman in this situation. So you have so many arguments. Some people feel like, well, Jeezy chose an Asian woman. Now you Asian people deal with it. No. Nah. Anything that's horrible of a man putting DV on any woman should be speaked about, no matter what the combination of the race is. And also, Diddy. Did you guys know that Diddy put the pow pow in Cassie's mouth? I guess that was threatening her to let her know, listen, ho, if you ever say something about me, if you ever expose this, I want you to be reminded what will happen to you. He put his whole pow pow in her mouth, okay? And it's something about these black canes and these guns and this whole just want to embarrass somebody, humiliate somebody, because Diddy too, he wanted to humiliate Cassie. He wanted to shame Cassie, and same with Jeezy. They say he wanted to shame and humiliate Jeannie Ma when he DM'd her, when he put her on blast on social media, let her know that he's divorcing her, and she had no idea what was going on, okay? And she was out here begging for it. Hold on, let's go into a phone call. Calling from 678, you're live on the air. 678. Hey, can you hear me good?
Yes, Gigi, I can hear you.
Talk to me about this case. Do you have your audio or something in the background? Because I hear echo. It's really bad. If you guys are calling in, can y'all please turn off the TV, the radio, so it won't have an echo, so it can be clear. Go ahead.
Me now? Can you hear me now, Gigi?
Yes.
I'm calling in about this Jeezy and Jeannie my situation. I'm kind of deterred. I'm torn because there's a minor child involved. My thing is those same guns that we saw photos of, no child was around. Those same weapons that she had brought to light in these photos, they were there before y'all had the baby.
Well, for her
So
stance, this
now,
is what she feels. She had to beg that man to put those guns up, and he still would not do it. What happens when their daughter is running around Jeezy's house and he have those guns out there? Because she said he's irresponsible about it, and we hear it all the time where these kids, they go into the closet, they climb up, and they get the pow pow, they take their stuff out of here. And that's what she fears. She is fearing that. Don't you understand where she's coming
and
from?
I understand exactly where she's coming from one mother to another mother, but I think Jeezy is responsible enough if you're in your divorce, going back and forth. If you do, a lot of people have weapons in their homes, but that's when the courts have to, Mr. Jenkins, you have to put your guns away. Hire extra security. I think he would comply with that instead of her going the below the belt, bringing out the photos of the weapons.
Why do you
Because
think
we've
that's
seen
below the
over,
belt? She's trying to protect her
because
daughter.
I want her to protect her daughter. But I said now, all of a sudden that comes into play. I'm not trying to make Jeannie the bad guy in this situation.
No,
Because like
she's
I
the
said,
victim.
their baby, she is, like I said, the guns have been there. And all of a
Yeah, and
sudden
she
now, like I
begged
said,
him, can you please put the guns up? Can you please put the guns away?
wait,
Can you
that's why I
please be
said,
responsible?
if that,
But he's not. If he don't listen to nobody. I mean, it's against the
if
law to hit a woman, right?
very much so, and it
But
needs to be. It's against the law for a woman to hit a man, and it's against the law for a man to hit a woman.
right, but in this case, Jeannie has never put hands on Jeezy. She has never did that.
Do we
So
do
so
we know that?
yes, we do. Jeezy would have been spoke out about it, and we don't know that information. All we know is what is given to us, and we do know that Jeezy
We've been
has been DVing her this whole time, and she is the victim, and this is her words. She was the witness in
oh,
this.
and that's why I said I have young men. My children are men. But what I feel like is in this situation, like I said, it shouldn't have got this far. She wanted to work and stay and work on her marriage. So if you want to stay and work on a marriage where you've been DV, why? Why would you want to stay? Because if
Why
you
would she want
remember
to stay?
when the if she wanted to stay and work on her marriage and she was being DV in a
Well, I
situation,
don't think
why
that's
would you stay?
fair. I don't, because they said Cassie wanted Diddy to marry her at one point, but we all know she's a victim as well.
Cassie, that's all that what Cassie went through, that is a shame before God. What Cassie went through,
And
and that's
what
why I said I
any
watched Jeannie
anybody
has went
dealing with
through.
DV, don't you think it's a shame before God? I mean, Jeannie
Yes, I
mom
think
was
it's
put
shame before
down
God,
by
but
Jeezy.
I'm not putting her down in no shape, form, or fashion. But we have watched interviews on other channels where she said this certain type of dragging comes out. Because from my understanding, Jeannie's from the Bay. Women from the Bay, he said it himself. His wife was from the Bay Area. If your wife was from the Bay Area, she's a tough cookie. It ain't like she's weak. But I think
So
now with the
because if
divorce
a if
proceedings,
a if a woman is tough, then she can take a beating.
no, it's never okay for nobody to put their hands on anyone. You keep your hands to yourself. If we can't communicate with our, speaking voice, we need to part ways until we cool off. But putting your hands on a woman is wrong. Putting your hand on a man is wrong. Nobody deserves to be hit.
Right. But in
But
this
now
case,
the
it's about Jeezy putting his hands on his wife. That's what we're dealing
And
with
that is
now is a husband putting
and that is
paws
totally
on the wife,
wrong.
this whole marriage.
And that's why I said, if it was, I feel in my heart that if DV was there, if it was there, I can't say. I'm speculating just like we all are until this is what she said. And we have to go along with what she said. And I understand she has to protect her daughter. And she has every right to protect her child because that's her baby. And if he been DVing her, yes, he should suffer the consequences. And my thing is, how do you proceed from this point on? Do you get supervised, visitation? What do you do in this situation?
Hmm. Yeah. And people are saying Jeezy, he's just playing games with her. He only want the child to not have to pay money. They say with Jeezy, it's all about selfish money and greed.
Money and greed. It seems like it's on both ends for his money. It's on both ends when it comes down to money. Everybody, when it's stuff like this come into play, it's about money on her end and his end. Because they had a prenup, and I think she only had like it was given like maybe 4 or 5 days before the wedding to sign the prenup. So if she really didn't get an attorney to go over that prenup with her in a timely fashion, she signed it under duress. We're not for sure, but like you said, the topic is DV is wrong,
Yeah, because
and that's why.
both of these men are DVing these girls. They
And
both
that's why
put
I said
fear
with
in these girls, and these girls have been with these men for some time. And a lot of times they stay because of fear. And I don't know exactly why they stay, but despite if they stayed or not, it is still against the law and it is still wrong to DV. Even if the girl stay for
and
50 years, it's still a crime and it's
it's
still
wrong.
wrong for that man to put paws on her
And
and DV on her.
Gigi, I totally hardly agree with you. Their marriage didn't last 2 years. If you remember when it hit the blogs, he leaked it to the blogs. And she had no clue that she was getting a divorce. If we all can flash back to right before the announcement of the divorce, she was sitting on the floor with Monaco praising him about the book. She said a prayer with her daughter regarding the book, Adversity for Sale. So that's why I said I think with Cassie's situation, 10 years, that's a long time. And my thing is the same
She
thing
had
as a
to
person,
deal with that DV for 10 years.
10 years, that's why I said
And
that's
people
post-traumatic
always
stress.
tell Cassie as well, well, why did you stay then? For 10
If they don't
years.
understand that, they did not understand when Cassie would leave him, Diddy had money. Money and power are some very powerful things that you have to go grab that person back. We've heard from the court records that when Cassie would leave, Diddy would go have people to go look for her, and they would drag her right back to him. So it took her a while to take that mental status that she was in. That was a lot to endure for 10 years. Doing things that you did not want to do, somebody putting their hands on you and making you participate in things that you did not want to participate in. When you say no, no means no. And that's why I said it was a very touchy situation. Like I said, with the Jeezy and Jeannie situation, I pray because there is a minor child involved.
Yeah.
Now Cassie
And
has
did you
moved on with
hear
her life.
about Jeannie? It was a situation where Jeezy, the rapper, berated her and she tried to leave. She wanted to get out, because when people say when you argue, just walk away. That's what Jeannie
Walk
Ma
away.
has done plenty of times. No Dragon came out, you know. She tried to walk away, but Jeezy grabbed her and would not allow her to walk away. And he got his fist and he knocked her out in her eye and her cheeks and her whole face.
And that's why I said there again, she did the right thing when, like I said, I guess it did take for a divorce to be filed for her to be able to walk away. Because after the divorce was filed, she was told to stay in the marital home, which he said he volunteered to stay in the basement. Next thing you know, he said that she up and left the marital home, in which she still owned a home in California because that was the house that her and Freddie lived in when she was married to him, her first husband.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said I think it was a lot of things that went on in the inside that we didn't know about, but I never feel like domestic violence is the answer for any situation. If you can't agree on anything, or if it starts to lead to where there are, everybody start throwing blows, or this lady got hurt, yes, she has to protect her child, and she also has to protect herself. And like I said, it may ended up in heartbreak for her to actually hear about the divorce that way. But if he's putting his hands on you, that's what you want. You want to be able to walk away. Some women don't make it to walk away. Not in the everyday world. The people that you don't hear about are the ones that don't make the blogs, or the ones that are everyday common working people get put in that same situation and they don't get to walk away. There's a video out now where a guy chased a girl through a parking lot and shot her 4 times.
Pow her 4 times. Okay.
Pow 4 times. Sorry, but that's what I'm saying. Some people don't get to they don't get that outing.
Got it. Hold on. Miss Jam says, "Where the picture of Jeannie my face? All we see is knees from golf." Well, Miss Jams, a lot of victims don't have pictures of their face. We haven't seen pictures of Cassie's face, but we know what happened to her. So that don't mean anything.
We saw some pictures of Cassie's. We saw pictures of Cassie's face.
I didn't see them. Where were they
at? Oh yeah. It was some. You got to go back because it was some pictures of Cassie's face. It was. You remember when they made it was one video that they had out. He would pay for expensive hotels for her to go to for 2 to 3 weeks so she can heal.
Yeah, but where the pictures?
It's some pictures out there, Gigi. They're out there.
I haven't sent me the pictures in my IG. I want to see those pictures. Yeah, because I haven't seen no pictures.
I wanted, like I said, it was some pictures of Cassie out there with.
But it's plenty of victims that don't have pictures.
And that's why I said it's plenty of them that don't have pictures. They don't want pictures because they want to protect the abuser.
Yeah, they call it the Stockholm syndrome.
And that's why I said if she stayed in that relationship any longer, it would have been continuation of being abused. So that's why I said if he actually allegedly abused her, then
Isabella said the pictures, the police have them. But Isabella, if she saw them, then everybody saw them. Then they can still be out here.
Yeah, they are out there. Okay?
Yeah, you can't. Once you put stuff on the internet, it never go away.
Yeah, it's pictures of Cassie where they showed her face.
I want to see that.
But for Jeannie, I never seen any of Jeannie. But as they said in the hotel that they were staying in.
Yeah, I just saw bruises of Jeannie her legs. I think her leg and foot after he did what he did to her.
That's why I said it's a shame before God, but nobody.
Did you see those pictures of Jeannie her skin all messed up?
No, I'm gonna look for those, but
they just came out, girl. Jeannie on her legs is all bruised up from Jeannie, and Jeezy, and he tried to lie about it to try to gaslight her, but everybody said, "Nah, Jeezy, you wrong." And he sent text messages out trying to prove that he was right, but people saw through that bull crap.
Oh yeah, he came out with a statement saying that it was kind of weird and strange about the. Like I said, if you did it, you know deep in your heart you did it. You can't lie. Like I said, everybody's not gonna tell the same lie. And if they have hotel employees saying that they had to protect this lady from you, those people don't know you from a can of paint. So of course they're gonna tell the truth. They don't have nothing to lie for.
Mm.
So that's why I said at the end of the day, Cassie's situation, 10 years, yeah, she was afraid to leave, and every
All
time
right,
she
somebody
did,
said
a
Jeezy is a street dude. I don't care if he a street dude.
he is
Just because you're a street dude did not make it okay for you to put paws on people. Just because you're a street dude don't make
no,
it okay to pow people. A crime is still a crime. I don't care how thug he is or street guy he is. But what I heard was he was trying to revamp his image. He didn't want to be a thug no more. Okay. They said that
he
he
didn't want
only got with
people
Jeannie Ma because he wanted to be in certain rooms that he was not, I guess,
couldn't get in
eligible to be in when he was portraying to be this thug. But honey, and
when he was
some
a
people
trap.
feel like, hey, you can't. A thug cannot transform. They gonna always have that thug in them, and always. So is it? And some of y'all be talking like a thug. That's what a thug's supposed to be doing. Is to whoop your behind and put
No,
paws on
no,
you. It's
no,
almost like that's the thug package. The thug package is to
no,
sell them sugar boogers, put paws on you, and pow and just be a menace.
no, that's not I mean, some men they feel that it's okay. They have that mentality. But yes, he was trying to revamp himself. He was trying to change his image because I saw a clipping several years before when he first moved to California. He was trying to get with Courtney Kardashian. That's the type of woman that he was looking for. He was not checking for sisters. He was wanting somebody, another race. He was not wanting to deal with black women anymore. So when, like I
So
said,
why do
it was
you
on
think that
TMZ
is? Why do you think that is? He
that he,
just do. Why did
because the
he?
room you said it yourself, the rooms that he was trying to get into. He wouldn't know what black woman do you know that was
So
of a
get me
statue
this
in Hollywood.
right. So Jeezy, this didn't have nothing to do with marriage. This didn't have nothing to do with love. Basically, he finessed her to use her as a key to open doors he feel that he couldn't get in.
Indoors. He wasn't gonna be because if you notice, Jesus' career had kind of died down until he popped out with one of the hosts from the Rio. She was popping. She's good at what she does. She when she dressed, Jeannie has a nice air about herself, educated, smart, makeup. She's beautiful. So what he was trying to do was get somebody that was connected in Hollywood to get him in those rooms that he couldn't be in, being this thug from Atlanta. And he's always hollering he's a changed man. He's this. I have always liked Jeezy music, but my thing is, if you put your hands on somebody, you're wrong. You are wrong for that. And now that there's a minor child in a relationship, Jeannie did not want kids in the beginning, but she fell in love with this man so hard
And he
that when
didn't
they
fall
got
in love
pregnant,
with Jeannie because he didn't love Jeannie. He just used Jeannie
he
to
just
use as a key to open up doors. So the love from him was never
it was
real. It was all fake and facade. And that's probably why he had no problem putting paws on her because he don't love her. He never loved her. It was never about love. He wanted to use her to open up doors. And I guess when she fell in love with him, that irritated him because it's like somebody like you, but you don't like them. And that's why he probably put paws on her. I don't know, racked her up a few times. Mm.
and see, I think you got to think about it too. When that nice mansion that he's in, I'm here in Georgia. So the area that they live in is a well nice area. So when he woke up one morning and the mom was at the door with her hat boxes and suitcases, she was coming to live. And he didn't want that. he wanted to be with his wife, and himself. And I think that probably played a part in it too, because that was something that I don't know if they discussed it, but for her brother and her mom to end up living with them, that probably played a factor. And then if you go back, Mama Mai is on the video saying that Jay was a good guy. That's what, according to her mom. But that's because he was giving the mama money in the video. He was taking the mom on these trips. Him and the mom would go out drinking. Oh, Jay, he's a good guy. She's portraying that Jeezy was the best thing since sliced bread. So that's why I said it's kind of weird to me with this situation. But like I said, if you did DV, you're wrong. And then you do have a child that deserves the best, because no child deserves to grow up with memories of parents fighting. So that's why I said it's out of hand. Before it's a Cassie and Diddy situation, that's going to take a lot to unpack, because there's a lot that has went wrong and that was done. And I'm pretty sure Cassie is probably still in therapy to this day. The thought of sleeping with men that I don't want to sleep with, people that I don't even know, I don't want to do this. But this man has so much power and money that these other people will do it, because who he is and what he's capable of doing. So now, like I said, the courts, they will make their ruling in the Jeannie and Jeezy situation. It's horrible all the way around because of the baby. With Puffy and Cassie, that is a lot to unpack, a lot. And Cassie has a very great support system with the husband that she has now. He was the one that pushed her to go forward with her truth. Because you do have people that are demons out here, and they own demon time, and they will corrupt you. It's not easy as people think it is. Well, if I was in that situation, I would have left a long time ago. Yeah, you might come up floating somewhere too. It's not easy, because she said it once before, when she tried to leave, people would start to look for her, and they would bring her back, because he had the money and the power. When you have money, you can do a lot of things that people don't like, and it's scary. But Gigi, I'm not gonna hold you. I just wanted to say my piece
Well, I'm
on both
glad you
situations.
did.
I'm sorry.
I said I'm glad you did.
You, Gigi, as always, nothing but love. I love listening to you, because you break it down, you get into it, you allow others to have their opinion, and you talk it out.
Yes.
So that's why I said it's sticky, but DV is wrong on all levels.
Right. So what
I
do
don't agree with
Jeezy want from this situation? Why is he fighting so hard?
Like you just said, I want to keep my money. I want to keep my money to myself. He has an adult son, and he has another minor daughter, and he didn't have to fight as hard as he's having to fight Genius for this child. So now the things that he's going through now, the other mothers, they can put up a fight like this. And like I said, his son, the one that he had an altercation with when he was a teenager, that son he's an adult now. But I'm pretty sure he didn't forget the incident where his father and him got into it. And then the other lady that he has a child with that he was supposedly gonna marry, he didn't marry her, but she moved on. And I'm pretty sure if DV was in Genius' situation, if they did it once, they'll do it again.
All right. Well, I thank you.
That's the way I feel.
I thank you so much. You can stay on hold if you want. I'm a 301. Are you there?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, girl? We missed you. What's your thoughts about?
Yeah, what's up? How you been doing?
I'm all right. Jeannie Ma and Jeezy. You know Jeezy been putting pause on Jeannie Ma and he got those guns around, and she fears that her daughter will be in danger because he's just not responsible. And of course, she was around, so she kept the daughter, but him around her daughter without her supervision, she fears for the child's safety.
Okay. Well, when it comes to Jeannie, I disagree with everything she's been saying about Jeezy.
What?
First of all, let me say Jeezy, that song, Can't Leave You Alone, that's my song. Huh?
Go ahead.
No.
So tell us, give us your point of view. Give us your point of view.
Okay, I'm going to give you my point of view. I got to give a shout out to Jeezy. That song, Can't Leave You Alone, that's my song. I listen to it every day in the gym and everything. Okay. But anyway,
he put pause on women.
Okay, but listen, allegedly. See, the thing with Jeannie that I got a problem with.
That's what she said.
Okay, but listen, that's what she said, but that's not what he said.
Okay, so you really going to believe him over her when she's the victim?
No, I'm not believing. I'm not taking a side. But what I'm saying about Jeannie, why I don't like her, is because in her prenuptial agreement with him, she's really trying to blow that up because she has something in her prenuptial agreement stating that if either party engages whatever in not essay, but sexual relations or an emotional relationship outside the marriage, then they have to pay a significant financial penalty if it's based upon adultery. Okay. Now, if you go back and research her out, when you go back and research her out, it was alleged that she cheated on him first with Mario Lopez.
Oh, okay, God. KFC, that is a lie. And you know it's a lie.
No. Google it in. Oh, okay, I don't have to lie.
People do conspiracy
Google
theories.
Google it in.
In some of the stipulations that was in that prenup, it was wild because my thing is, if he got caught looking at women on social media in a certain way or like something, that's a form of cheating to her.
Right, that's all in the prenup.
It sure is.
So, of course, if this man don't want you no more, you're going to try to do and say and do anything you can to get that money.
Did he sign those papers?
They both signed.
If he signed it, but he didn't cheat on what you think he's going to get.
To it.
So you have to step it up now and try to bring domestic violence in it to make sure you get a payday.
No,
because you don't have the show no more. You're not on the real anymore.
No, she wouldn't do that. She would not do that.
And
Mario.
Okay, let me say something. Let me tell you about her. When Jeezy came on the show,
Mario came out and said it was not true.
Wait a minute, let us talk.
Oh, now y'all want to listen to her talk.
When Jeezy came on the show, The Real, she was all over him, and she was still married. So what makes you think she's such an ethical person?
And she's being like her dog.
What are you talking about?
Right?
What are you talking about? Google in how they're saying that she cheated on Jeezy with Mario Lopez.
Mario came out and said those are rumors. That was not true.
Yeah, right. So out of all the people they could have used out here, why did they use his name?
Because that's
why did the baby feel comfortable walking across the table?
Yeah, because that's what the conspiracy.
So how you know it's not the
do.
other way around? How you know that's not the reason why Jeezy didn't want her no more? Because remember, he's the one that filed for divorce first, not her.
True.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, people always give people a bad rap without just looking at everything, not just one person's side of it. Got to look at everything, and then you have to draw a conclusion.
A dog meat on the side.
Right. So to me, she cheated on him first.
Why keep her lean and mean?
Well, Google it in.
Yeah,
it talks about it. Even TMZ said it's interesting how she's coming out saying that.
Hold on,
KFC.
Mario is a married man. You sound crazy.
So?
He's a married man.
When did I ever stop someone from cheating?
But they did not cheat. They are honest.
How do you know?
Because that's what she said, and that's what he said. What do you mean? How do I know?
TMZ got the article posted, and they didn't say allegedly.
TMZ lied. You can't trust TMZ. Okay, listen, everybody know TMZ lies.
Okay, but listen, Jeezy. So what's the reason why Jeezy wanted to divorce her?
We never found out.
Because he filed first, right?
Yes, he did.
See how they never disclosed that? Now they want you to take her side, so they bring up what she's saying about him.
Because she won't have his money.
Jeezy didn't go on the smear campaign with her, though. but she's going on one with him. See, that's why I don't like when people do that. Like, it's like you don't have
KFC,
nothing, but
you would not paint
Jeezy
Jeezy as a victim because he's no victim. He was the one.
Why are you painting her as one?
Because she
What makes her a victim? Because she said it?
No, because she's been deep, put paws on.
See?
Got her ass whooped by Jeezy. Because she said it.
Did you ever witness it? Did you ever witness it? Were you ever in their home?
No.
Did you ever hear one 911 call recording? Did you hear anything? Okay,
no.
So I can't say she's telling the truth yet.
I didn't. No,
how would I know?
I didn't hear a 911 from Cassie either, but she's telling the truth.
Okay, but let me tell you about Cassie. Cassie is a liar, and let me go on record to do that. And Diddy, if you listening, please hire me. Cassie is a liar, 110%. It is a money grab with her.
Why are you painting all these women as liars?
Why I say she's a liar? Because of the way she did it. She was real sloppy. Like, for example, what made me start paying attention to her is that she started dating Diddy like 2007 or whatever, 2008. Okay, the NYPD police department came out with a statement and they said Diddy's not under investigation for nothing. So all the people, the lady that came forward with the club and all that, so if they're not going to investigate Diddy in New York, all right, and he had an apartment with her there, why come no other police agency is picking it up? You can go back online and Google in how NYPD said Diddy is not under investigation for nothing. So who's lying?
I disagree.
He had somebody's car blown up, whatever. Why come that person didn't come forward and say Diddy had his car blown up? See, you cut me off and people keep saying, you throw me in mute. So people just hear me say something and I can't expand what I'm talking about. But with Cassie, it makes sense because she's been there 10 years. So all this stuff they're talking about is old stuff. Like when Justin Bieber came over the house, she probably was there. That's why she made that stuff up. Justin Bieber hasn't come forward to confirm any of these allegations. Neither has Usher. Then if this man is such a freak or whatever y'all trying to make him out to be, why come when they broke up, all that stuff stopped? All the stuff about the parties, all that stuff stopped because it was never real to begin with. And this is why nobody's paying Lil Rod any attention. Because he didn't lie a couple of times and keep changing his story as well. None of it makes sense. And like I said, if you had all this stuff, you broke with this man in 2018, victims can come out whenever they want to, but it's real slick how you try to come up before that law ran out too. It's real slick how you try to do that. No other female athlete has come forward saying Diddy did anything to them. Not even saying he had parties in his house or any children were in his home. Only Cassidy is the one that's starting all of that.
But you know where I think that came from? I don't even think it came from Cassie. When Diddy got into it with the liquor companies,
I don't think that has nothing to do with it.
I think they.
I don't think they. Now that I look at it, I don't think it's all Cassie, because in my opinion, she's the one that went forward and said he got guns in his house. That's why when they raided his home, they took the firearms. People keep saying it's tapes. I don't believe there was ever no parties like that. I'm telling you, because if it was, that would have been a big money bag for whoever had that on tape.
I disagree.
Lies. And she knows she lying. She know that when Diddy didn't want her no more, it was the end for her. So she was not going to walk away with nothing.
Wait.
The longest.
But I disagree.
And make people think stuff.
I disagree.
Nobody can do that. Like I can go, like let's say I was over Jeezy's house. I'm just saying allegedly. I could call the cops and say, yeah, she got blah, blah, blah up in there. And you don't know what she called and told him was up in his house either. If they say it was illegal guns, when they raided, they took those. And but nobody got arrested.
So with those guns that we see Jeezy walking through for these videotapes, that baby is nowhere around.
I know.
But I don't think
the baby is not.
Did that.
Hold on. The baby is not around, but she fears when the baby is in his care, the baby will get hold to those pows because he's so irresponsible. And she keep begging that man, please put the guns up. Why would Jeezy want to have AK-47s around the house? That is so threatening and intimidating. Why?
How do you know
Why
that
can't
they're really
she lock him up? Huh?
How do you know that they're really around the house?
Because she showed video proof.
Okay, so there we go again. Because she told.
I'm going to the house.
Okay. Yeah, right. So if he had those guns, he didn't have those guns when he first married you. See, that's what I'm saying. Now all of a sudden, if he did, they want a problem, but they're a problem now because you want some money? No. That's not how the system's supposed to work. Like,
And you do
it's
have the
just like
right to
once that
in
lady at
Georgia.
McDonald's, remember that older lady at McDonald's went through the drive-through and the coffee was too hot and they spilled in her lap and she got like 900,000. Ever since then, people have been trying to do the same thing. It's $900,000 payday that McDonald has to pay out. I mean, it's not hard because why would New York say he's not under investigation? Oh, wait a minute, what happened to the shooting where the lady said she had the bullets in her face? Why come the NYPD say they're not investigating for nothing? Doesn't make sense. So where did
Well,
she get
that's
abused at in one of his place of residence? Miami police ain't stepping up, taking her up on her charges. Neither is Los Angeles. So where did she get abused at then? Like, nah. See, she
All
got too
right.
sloppy. She got too gritty.
Well, hold on. Rashida got something to say. Hey, Rashida, how you doing?
Hey Gigi, hey Capsy.
Now, the new information just came
What's
out.
up, Rashid? How you doing, girl?
Uh,
Good.
Jeannie Ma, Jeannie Ma already told everybody that Jeezy has been putting her down this whole time they were married, and she's been keeping a secret, trying to protect this man. And a lot of girls, they do protect their abusers. We know this. Okay. So now she fears about her daughter. She says when Jeezy have all these AK-47 just lying around the house on the floor, just any and everywhere. And she fears. Now people are saying, well, he been had that. Yeah, but she was there to supervise the daughter. And while she had her daughter in her hands, she put the guns up, put them in a safe place. I don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. But do he care about her comfortability? No, he does not. Okay, so she fears that once that daughter be in his care without her supervision, that she could possibly get a hold of that pow and take out herself. It is a danger.
Yeah,
Nobody
right.
want their kids around guns. And we hear often how these kids, they get and they find their parents pow and horrible things happen. Rashida, your thoughts on that?
Um, yeah, I think that she's exaggerating.
Oh,
I think that I think they both are a mess. Like if he put his hands on her, that's not right, of course. But I think that from what I seen when I first heard of their relationship, the way I seen him in public, the way she wanted a bad boy. She knew who don't know who he is, who don't know what he's about. He has always been about the street life. Of course, he said he was changing his life around, doing this, doing that. But Jeezy has always been known to be a bad boy. And I think that's what she wanted. Like a lot of women don't like to admit.
when a girl want a bad boy, does that mean that she want him to do horrible things to her? It sounds like you're giving an excuse.
No, no, no. I'm not giving an excuse. What I'm saying is, in my opinion, whether, all right, like I said, if he put his hands on her, he wrong for that. But a lot of women like bad boys. It's the thought of it. It is not necessarily meaning because she could have thought whatever bad ways he had towards females, she can change. Because it's a lot of women always think they could change a man. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
I gotta say something, but Jeezy was in the process of changing his image. He was no longer a bad boy. What he did to her, what we saw, it was not a bad boy. He gave her helicopter rides. He gave her flowers. He was a gentleman. He would
Gigi.
come out as a bad boy.
Gigi, that's what we seen. That's what they showed us. You think that man was like that 24/7? I'm sorry. But sometimes
I think
it's not always the man.
when
And
we
I know
when we saw his
Thank you.
interviews,
Thank
he
you,
come off as like he's smart, educated. He don't
he
come off
is.
as a boy.
But he's all of those things though, Gigi. He's a bad boy who started learning the things he was doing wrong. Yeah, he was trying to change some things, but at the end of the day, it be men and women.
What
And I,
bad boy?
huh?
Diddy is notorious for bad boys. He got a whole record called Bad.
Well, no, no,
What is a
no.
bad
Right now.
No, when I say bad boy, I mean the whole, really about the street life, bad boy.
boy?
Like for example,
I think of drugs. I think of criminals.
Yeah, but also just that attitude of just say, somebody try to disrespect her in the street. She know for a fact if she his wife, he gonna handle that. You get what
Oh,
I'm
why
saying?
would it have to be a thug? A gentleman can do that.
They
Somebody,
can, but
I know.
Gigi, let me ask you a question. If you were her and you knew because she was reporting on people's lives and things that was going on, if you knew everything about Jeezy's background, that the same things that we see, but you're not into bad boys like that, would you date him? Knowing what you know about him, would you date him?
If I believe in forgiveness and I believe that you can be redeemed, yes, I would. Because if I believe in redemption, that you can change your ways and you can be better, and if I believe that you can be saved, yes. And that's how you
Okay.
move
And
forward.
she thought he could be saved and she signed up for it. And now that he don't want her, because this we not talking about a situation where Jeannie Ma came out, filed for divorce, said he was abusive, said she was like in fear for her daughter's life because of the guns. All of this stuff came out after he did not want her anymore.
Exactly.
It's just weird to me because even after they announced that, her very next video, she was like, "No, I'm not gonna let him go that easy. I'm gonna fight for my marriage." She didn't care about none of all of that stuff
Like
then.
for the
But
marriage.
then he filed for custody of the daughter, and now we hear all of this other stuff.
Well, Rashida,
And can
even
I just say something real quick?
if she did want to fight for her marriage at that time, if he did all those things, he did all those things.
Yeah, right.
No, but if he did it, all
He,
right. So if
I
he
might
did what things? Hit her?
Okay, say for instance, if I was dealing with Peter, I don't know why I love that name, Peter. If I was dealing with Peter and he was putting paws on me and putting paws on me, and I was just praying to God that one day we'll make it work and I'm not gonna leave, but then he left me. Okay, and then I come out and say, Peter have been putting paws on me, and I don't want him to have supervision of my child. I have every right. So you're gonna blame me
But nobody
because
believes
you're gonna
you never
blame me,
talk to anybody.
huh?
Nobody. How would anybody know if you don't dial 911? If you don't have any kind of record showing that this actually took place, then how are we
right.
gonna know if it's your word against his word?
Exactly.
But why does it have to be that way with victims? Why I
Because
Because
don't
you're
my
gonna
think
thing
prove what
they
you're
is,
have to
saying.
he's
show
innocent
all
until
the
Every,
proof.
proven guilty.
because
We
we live in a day now where everybody got to show proof the same way victims got to show. And not saying it's right, but everybody want to see that. Oh, okay, show me you was victimized. Oh, you didn't.
That's so
You
rude. I
didn't.
think that is so rude for you to
It is.
put
I'm getting
victims
beat.
in
I'm
that
not gonna stay in a
situation. Say, well,
relationship
prove it to me.
I'm not putting them in that situation. Society is. Not only do the victims got to prove it, but the person that's being accused got to prove they didn't. That's the world we live in now.
and
Every
look
time you see
at
somebody get up on here and say that, oh, something happened to them, they be like, prove it. Let's see. You got video? Where's the audio? This is what society is
I guess
doing.
that's public opinion, right? But they have
Yeah.
law. So public opinion is going to be different.
But it
Mm.
sways a lot of things though. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I get what
all
you're
I'm
saying.
saying is
That's
and
why
she
restraint.
is he.
True.
That's it. I'm
Yeah,
not
like
saying I'm not victim shaming her or nothing like that. But from her, like, if you're gonna look at a story, you gotta look at the messenger, both parties. Now we know all about his background and the type of person he was, but what about her? She was abusing her last husband, but nobody speaks about that. She was cheating on her last husband, but nobody speaks about that. So they both were in really bad situations when it came to relationships, and they both probably thought the other one changed, but they didn't, and now you see them going for blows. So it's like in this situation, to me, they both wrong.
Rashida, that's not fair that you're gonna bring in her other husband, because if that's the case, we can make an argument. Jeezy was a no good daddy to his other kids, so you know he
He
don't give
was.
a daughter.
He
Okay,
was. Is she
You,
still this?
you,
That's
you
all I'm saying is it's 50-50, Gigi. When you allow, like, all right, prime example, if I'm in a relationship and I'm in a relationship with a
wait. And I thank y'all in the comment section. Help me out, y'all. Help me out. They said you're that's a lie, Rashida. They said Jeannie Ma did not abuse nor cheat on Freddie. Thank you. Boom.
what? All the
They said
allegations out there about what?
you gotta show
Oh,
proof.
y'all need to do y'all research.
You gotta show proof, Rashida.
Oh,
I
oh,
want
oh I'm
section.
gonna come with it. I'm gonna
Come
come with
with
it.
it.
I'm gonna
Come
come with it because that's not fair.
but
She
when it
was always known to be a hothead in a marriage.
You know how hard you
when
right,
he did
Mike.
it,
Wait, you know how hard it is for women to come about abuse. That is very hard.
Gigi,
Then she
they
already
said
got the people
they
talk,
said
talking about her and stuff.
They said they ain't said that. They said they ain't said that, Gigi.
her husband
What?
Freddie came out and went. Freddie
Huh.
did a video explaining that Jesus could have his trash
Okay, that's
because the
wrong,
way
and
that their divorce
you know
ended.
that was wrong for him to say that. But PELOMK says you're lying. Jeannie did not abuse nor cheat on Freddie. Did you catch that,
What did
Rashida?
Jeannie do to her?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What did
So
she do, what did
they
she do to
ain't
her
lie.
ex-husband?
I can't what?
What did Jeannie did something to her ex-husband? They didn't end on good terms.
I don't know. But do
They
you
ended on bad terms. And
really
it was
want to open up that envelope? Do you really want us to dig with Jeezy and his
yes.
baby
But
mama?
no, but see, Gigi, you making it like I'm saying that he's better over her. I am not saying that. I am saying that when
I was
two people enter,
I was referring
oh,
to the caller because the caller said something about how Freddie talk about Jeannie Ma is trash, right? She's trying to paint the picture that Jeannie Ma is just horrible person. But I'm
It can
saying
go. It no.
if you
It can
want
go
to
both
go
ways. The
there,
same way
right?
we
If you
can
want to
bring up
go,
Jesus'
hold
past.
on.
We can
Can
bring
I
up.
finish my train of thought? If you want to
Yeah,
go
go
there
ahead. Go ahead.
and use their past exes, you don't want us to open up that box to Jeezy exes and whores and baby mamas, okay? Because they say horrible things about that man. So
that's what I'm
I
saying.
was just going based on their relationship.
And that's what it is. It's
Because
public
she
opinion
does
what we're
not
all
deserve
saying.
this. Jeannie Ma does not deserve this at all.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
You're wrong.
It's
You're
not fair
so
for people
wrong
to
for
keep
that.
lying on people, man. That's why Jeezy wrote 2 songs. I might forgive, but I don't forget.
But I don't
He also wrote a
forget.
song called "Don't Cheat." What was the reason why
Now
Jeezy divorced her then? Because he
now
was first.
I do want to know why he did want to divorce her, but Gigi, let me make this clear. I'm not saying she deserved nothing. If he put his hands on her, he was dead wrong for that. I do think that she loves her child and I think he loves that child. But to be like, "Oh, he got guns and I think that if he have her, this and this going to happen." It's
No,
millions of Americans.
guns. It's about when you have guns laying around the house, irresponsible. That's what
Oh
it's about.
man,
All
If
right, but has any of his other kids got hurt with guns or is what is she
he was
going off of? Because
his other kids.
I don't know. I think that her having a fear of something versus them having an incident and this is why she doesn't want this. I mean, they could set it up to where if he has partial custody, maybe the grandmother is around, or is ways to set that up. But to just say you don't want him to have control or have his kid because he got guns laying around, you think he gonna have guns laying around and bring his baby in there? Come on. He's not. We ain't never heard him to be that low down.
What this Rashida? She lived with that man. She knows that man better than y'all do.
So this she should have been left from then. She
That
shouldn't have never been trying to work nothing out. If he was that irresponsible with guns, now she has to take her responsibility in this
But
whole
Rashida,
situation.
that's not how she was raised. She was raised to try to work it out. Why are you faulting her
yeah,
for trying to
right.
give Jeezy a chances? And
Because when it comes to your kids is first above anything.
I know Rashida, but she was there to protect her daughter. She was okay as
No,
long as
she
she was
wasn't. No,
there
she
to
wasn't.
protect her daughter.
Gigi,
And
if my husband,
Rashida, you forget her mama was there to protect, her brother was there to protect the daughter from Jeezy and his irresponsibilities or whatever he have having guns and all that recklessness.
but that is not a reason to keep him from his kid now. When I heard he wanted full custody, I was kind of like, what's that about? Because I
Money,
mean, he has never had full
money.
custody of any of his children. I don't believe he should take the baby away from the mom. I think that they
The
But
should
mom,
have joint
that's
custody.
very harsh. He is a very harsh man. First of all,
Yeah,
Jeezy never liked her. He only used her to open up doors that he couldn't get in. So he never
but
cared about
Gigi,
it. What, Rashida?
Gigi,
Yes.
I don't, we, huh? He
What?
was using Jeannie Ma.
Yes, everybody says it on the internet, just like you say everybody say certain stuff on the internet. That's what they say.
Well, they was using each
Before
other because he
they
needed
said,
doors open and she wanted dark meat. So there
oh,
you go. They was using each other.
stop it. Stop it.
this
Um,
girl used
before
from the
this,
side and made
he
a
was trying
tomato
to get
sauce.
with Courtney, girl. Courtney Kardashian. He wanted a white woman. They say that he ain't want no black woman.
He first went
Well,
out and
but that's his preference. If he don't, I don't get into that. You love who you love. Your heart, you can't sell your heart. Some of our hearts don't love people that we wish we never loved. So
But
that part
Rashida,
is
what's
nothing. But she wanted dark meat. Anybody gonna talk about that?
but Rashida, he didn't want her for no heart. He wanted to use her for opportunities.
And
So
she
he
wanted to use them to ride the D, the dark meat D. So
and
it seemed like, she a night rider, he a opportunist. It seemed like, still 50-50. They both got, all I'm saying is when you in a relationship and then now you bring kids involved, both parents have to take the responsibility and the ownership, and they have to both live up to their faults and try to change whatever it is, because it's not just him, it's her as well. They both got some work
Rashida,
in them.
what did Jeezy say that she did? I'll wait.
He will not put her on blast.
Oh,
He
stop.
will not
Why not?
blast her
Because he have nothing
because
to
he said
say.
it.
He have nothing to say,
Rashida,
Rashida.
what's
He
the
No, no.
oh.
Rashida? Do you remember there's a video out where she was saying about some type of dragon that she had because of her? She gets worked up. She has a bad temper, and
Oh, I
she
seen an interview that she said,
I have been
mm-hmm,
for stop.
yeah, it was a
mm-hmm.
video out regarding that. She made the statement about the dragon, and that he told her, "You're
Well,
not gonna talk to
Carla,
me any kind of way."
hold up. Now, why did the
He
dragon come out when he was whooping that ass, huh? Why did? Because she don't
We
got
don't
no
know when
dragon.
the dragon came
she
out.
did
I think
yeah, she did do an interview though, Gigi, and
Yeah, but
she
y'all
was
taking
speaking about her attitude.
but Rashida, you taking that out of context. Talking
they
about
were going to
a big
counseling,
ass
but
dragon
she said
gonna
they were
come
going
out.
to therapy.
No, but she did have, that was all over the place, that interview she did. They brought, as
It
soon as
was
the paperwork came out that he filed for divorce, the very next thing you seen was everybody pulling up this interview that she did and was talking about her attitude. So then you had everybody speculating, oh, that's why he divorced her. See, she controlling, she this, she that. You know what I'm saying? You had some people on her side, but for the most part, in the very, very beginning, they was coming for her. They was dragging her.
And
You
that
know
was
what I'm saying? So
how could you drag her?
because they felt like they was going off that interview she did where she admitted that she was the problem in the relationship and how he had to check her.
and
said.
Okay,
he
so
told her
what's
that
wrong
she
with
was
that?
not
That's
going
not a
to talk to him
crime.
that
Did
type
she
of way.
commit a crime?
No, I didn't say she committed a crime, Gigi. All I'm saying is,
I'm not saying to you, but the people that dragging her, they acted
uh,
like she committed a crime.
yeah, because I mean, he never really fully said he never really said what it was, but he did say whatever it was that she did was something that was unforgivable. He said that, but he won't put it on blast. And who knows, maybe she did cheat, maybe he got bored of her, maybe it could be a list of reasons on why. But it's like now they fighting over the kid, and it's like, come on, they both need to just do some type of, because they family forever now. They have a child together. That all of this they doing, they kid gonna see this. So they both need to stop it, get some help, and figure out how to co-parent the right way. That's it.
Melanin Queen
On
donated
with their life.
$5. She said Jeannie wanted a mixed child. Her ex wanted children and she refused. She was very
Right.
aggressive, and he stated this. I'm sure. Okay.
As soon as they broke up, he got somebody else pregnant. Freddie, our ex did, because she didn't want children.
Mm.
My bad, Gigi. Tell you somebody in the comments said I need a battery. I know. I'm gonna get one tomorrow. Leave me alone, please.
All right. Well, hold on. We got another caller. Caller 757. You're live on the air. 757.
That's Jeezy right there.
There's
Hi,
Seven.
Jeezy
Gigi. This
coming.
is 757.
Yes.
Hi, Gigi. This
Can
is
you turn?
757. Can
Can
you
you
hear me?
turn the radio off? Like you have the radio on over there. Can you turn it off, please?
I'm going to cut the TV down. 1 second.
Yeah, cut it off. I'm gonna come back. Okay. Calling from 213. You're live on the air.
Can you hear me, Gigi?
Yes.
Yes. Hey, Gigi, how you doing? Thank you all for the show. Hey, KSC, I love what you said.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I do believe that Jimmy is being extra, because to call out after all these years, oh, he has guns and they're around the children. That's like you just trying to look for an argument. Like, and
Exactly.
I do believe that Jeezy kind of did, like, he probably thought it was a good, like, feeling at the time, getting married to her and everything, and then somewhere down the line he lost interest, and she just can't take that pill. Like,
Well,
the reason why I
family
would
moved
say
in.
the reason why I would say that is because, like, I went through a divorce, and when I lost like interest in my ex, she kind of got like, oh, you're abusive, you this, you that. Not like physically abusive, but she'll call me verbally abusive and stuff. But it's like when I was interested, it wasn't a problem at first. But now that I'm not interested, it's like, oh yeah, you're abusive. So it's like,
But if you were
she's just
wrong,
being
you
extra.
were
And
wrong.
I
But
think, like, just think about it. Like,
okay, hold on. Let me put you on hold. But yeah, you were wrong. You were wrong. If you do crimes and your wife is okay with you doing crimes, then y'all break up and she exposed you doing crimes, you did the crime. If you did the
She
crime,
did it with him. She did it with him. I'm sorry, Gigi. I'ma hold my end of it. You know what happens a lot of times, and this is no lie. We like a person. We see them. Maybe they a little arrogant. Maybe they talk a little reckless, and it turn us on. We want it. That's who we want. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Then we get in it, and the very thing.
who does that turn on, Rashida? What?
No, a lot of people, Gigi, it turned on a lot of people. You have women out there who feel like if a man don't put their hands on them, then he not a real. Gigi, what world you living in?
Today, then we talked about you a lot. They want a man of faith, a man of God. So
Not,
that's
yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. They say that. And then sometimes the very thing that turns you on about that person, once you in it, is the biggest turn off to you now. And that's facts.
well, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if that's possible with a lot of people, but I don't think it's with Jeannie. But 757, Mike, are you there?
This is 757. Can you hear me, Gigi?
Uh-huh.
Can you hear me?
I'm gonna come back. I keep saying yeah,
Nah, go
shit.
ahead, Jeezy.
Yeah, goddamn it. Hey, Shelly.
What's up? I
Word
came. I
up.
came to your rescue. I ain't gonna let them get away with it.
They are jumping on me.
I ain't gonna let them get away with it. What's up?
Hey, Shelly Boo.
What's up, KFC? Y'all know y'all wrong.
Now, what's up, Shelly? What's up?
Y'all know y'all wrong. Now let me defend the sisters because you know those men gonna call in there and say, Jeezy, right?
Right.
Let me tell a little bit now.
No.
Let me tell a little bit. Now look, Jeannie Ma got cheated on. Now I'm talking about Freddie. Freddie was out there cheating on Jeannie Ma because she wouldn't have a baby for him. Now y'all could go look it up first, but
I believe you, Shelly. I believe you.
Freddie wanted a baby, and Jeannie said she didn't want a baby because how she was done as a baby. So Freddie gave her enough time, and then Freddie was out there looking, and he had a woman he was messing with. And then when Jeannie met Jeezy on that show, she was still trying to work it out with Freddie, but Freddie told her time was up. She either had to have a baby or he was getting a divorce.
That's harsh.
Now that did happen. Now as far
Now,
as
Shelly.
they got pictures of this child with marks on her.
I believe you.
Shelly.
Yeah, come on.
You remember that interview Jeannie Ma did, and she was telling about what happened to her with her uncles and how her mother did not believe her and do all
Yeah.
this, that, and the third. Could that be a reason why he don't want her mother around because he know what she did to her own child and he don't want her to have anything to do with his grandchild? Is that safe to say?
Yeah, that could be a factor, but I was just talking about how y'all was dogging out Jeannie Ma, saying that, you know, she got issues and Jeezy do too, because Jeezy was going to a therapist. He bipolar.
Yeah,
So he
they
probably is loving one minute and then attacking the next. If you bipolar, you have that personality.
Yeah, if he's bipolar, you don't know
not
who.
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't
Because
do
I
it.
was diagnosed with bipolar and I do not do that. That's not, it's levels to it.
All bipolar people are not created equal.
They're not the same, but do you
But
take
all
medicine? Do you
no,
take
I don't.
medicine?
Uh-uh.
Okay, Jeezy take medicine. That's what I'm saying. Everybody not the same, but Jeezy has some problems. I just didn't want y'all to dog out Jeannie Ma because Jeezy brought problems into the relationship as well.
Yeah,
Thank
they
you.
And
both did. I
yeah,
believe they both need help, Shelly. Both of them.
yeah. And her husband did cheat because he told her he gave her enough time and he wanted a baby. And she said she told him she didn't want no children. At first he agreed to that, but as they got older, he wanted children because they was together 10 years. So she couldn't have been that bad. And you never heard nothing. She talked very loving about Freddie. But Freddie
Well,
got to the point.
She's with. Yeah. And for her to talk like this about Jeezy, you know, it's really means something because usually this is not Jeannie's talking point. And I think it is hurtful how he's trying to take that child.
Well, he want that because he don't want to pay that full. You know, they get a
yeah,
lot of money when you got a baby. So all these men learning now, get the baby so you don't have to pay a large amount.
Yeah, but Shelly, you know,
Amen.
the mothers, they're not going to deal with that. They're going to fight tooth and nail for their
Right,
child.
right.
yeah, that is
I'm just
true.
saying.
Child.
I'm just giving KFC and Sharonda a reason why he want that baby so bad. Because a lot of these men don't want to pay that bill.
That's true. Now I do
Especially,
believe that.
yeah,
But I mean, I know that he did say in the beginning, he was saying that her mother is too involved. And
yeah,
I'm like, but wait a minute. We all seen that interview that she did about what her mother did to her as a baby. I
yeah.
wouldn't want if my mother did that, I wouldn't want her around my grandchild, my child either. I'm sorry. I wouldn't.
Well, now KFC, you know, men is always the man fault, right?
Yeah, right.
Where she at? It's always the man fault, right? Now
Where they
I'm just messing. But can I tell y'all something?
Nah, I disagree with what you're saying though. Trying to put Jeezy out there like that because
I know you disagree, but can I tell y'all something?
Jeannie is so cruddy. She's so cruddy because she brought up them. It was strategic what she did when she brought up them gun charges. When she tried to say that it was guns laying around because Jeezy was arrested back in 2014 on a gun charge and it was dismissed. So that shows you how desperate she is to try to get anything she can and try to use anything on him to try to bring him down. And I don't have respect for people who do that. I don't think
Well,
that's fair.
we don't know what he doing to her behind closed doors, but we saw
He got arrested.
bruises on her. We saw bruises.
This is her husband. She would know that. She's trying to bring up old dirt. Like Cassie is trying to research for stuff that she's heard about Diddy to try to bring it out and run with it to get a payday, to get a check.
But KFC, I heard that those bruises came from when they went golf cart riding or something.
You didn't do nothing with Diddy. But
Well, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. You talking about Cassie? This is court record. So Cassie didn't make up anything.
Boat. They're in the same boat. They're doing the same thing.
Oh no, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with that.
Not on Cassie.
You got arrested
They're
for that gun
dealing with
charge.
both men in hip hop that are both violent. Both of these men are violent.
Says who? Says who?
Now I believe Diddy is violent. I do. I don't know. I never
because Diddy. Let me explain something. Diddy beat up every woman he was with. Kim Porter, broken nose. His ex Misa was hot. Misa was hotting up under a car.
Under the car.
His first baby mom, he beat her up. He beat her
under the car.
Car. So stop that mess. Stop that mess.
KFC, you said that no pending charges was against him, but the cops did get called out to Cassie's house when Diddy was there. Her mother called the cops on him. So he did have something, but she dropped it because she just didn't want to have no dealings with him once he brought her back her phone.
Yeah, he been hammering on women now. Come on.
If her mother had her back this good, where she would get involved over her cell phone, why come she didn't get involved with her doing
No. That's because she was there. She wasn't with him no more. He was trying to snatch her up. I don't know why her mom did what she did.
I don't know.
But I don't agree with that part. I just agree that both Jeannie Ma and Jeezy both need help, and they need to get it together quick while this baby's still young and turn it around and not, go too far with it. That's what I think.
And that's why he filed first, because when that relationship started going bad, he was thinking about the money. So he rushed and filed because Jeezy is the type, he don't like to spend no money. He tight like
they all money. They the same. Diddy is just worse.
But how you know
He's
Jeannie
on a
has a
higher
quick
level,
temper?
and Jeezy on a lower level.
Jeannie even admitted she has a bad attitude.
But she was talking about with people. She wasn't talking about with her man. She was talking about with regular people.
No. She made it clear it was with Jeezy because she was talking to him and these manners and stuff like that. And he had to check her and show her, like, look, I'm not talking to you like that. And you not. It was the same instance like with Will Smith when he said Jada was cursing at him and he rolled up that newspaper and popped her in her head and told her, if you're going to keep talking to me like that, we getting a divorce.
That was their love game. They cuss each other out and then they jump in the bed.
Will Smith should not be putting no hands on nobody, popping nobody with no I don't like
but listen, it might have been the comics. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe he rolled up the comics section when he hit her.
No. He said what happened. He said they had a party and she was cursing at him and talking to him crazy. He rolled up the newspaper. He went bop, and then they went in a room and he told her, if you're gonna continue to use curse words with me, then we getting a divorce. And then I guess they spent 10 years not cursing at each other or something like that. Yeah, that was on a Red Table Talk.
I'm not laughing at that because I don't condone that. I'm not laughing at that. I was just laughing at the way you said pop. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Shelly. Yeah. Shelly, and I want to get your opinion on it. They said Jeezy never really loved Jeannie Ma. that he only used her to get into doors that he could not get in. They said before he got with Jeannie, he was trying to get in bed with Courtney.
Uh-huh. Well, that could be true because look how long the marriage lasted. It looked like to me somebody was looking for a reason. How you going to get married in only in a year and you can't talk and you can't work something out in 1 year? So maybe he was trying to climb, and the climbing wasn't opening up fast enough for him because all eyes was on him. So now the media, see, before he got with Jeannie Mai, no media was following Jeezy around. Nobody was paying Jeezy no mind. They didn't even know who Jeezy was.
Right.
I agree with Daryl Allen. He said that he don't think neither one of them loved each other. It was an infatuation, and I believe the same thing. They were still in the honeymoon phase of, it was spicy, and then once they got married and had a baby,
she wanted to fight for her marriage. She was really in love with that
man. She did say she wanted to fight. She wanted because she
find out your husband is divorcing you in public. Why?
Yeah, she don't like to be humiliated in public. I understand that.
But he talked her into having that baby, and she didn't even want children, so she loved him. If a woman gonna give her body like that, and she don't want to do it, she loved him.
Yes, she did. Hey, Mike, how you doing? What are your thoughts about this Jeannie and Jeannie Mai?
Hello, ladies. Hello. Salute to everybody. It just seems like a very toxic relationship from the start. It's just toxic, and it's just like, she might have been sweet coming in, but a man can corrupt a woman into being more negative just by the surroundings. But when I was watching it, I don't see love. I see like, opportunity. Does that make sense? Like it was just opportunist, but I don't see like pure love. Because if you love a woman or you love a man, you truly love them, you don't put your hands on them. You don't do that.
Right.
You never do that. And that's one thing I'm very proud of. Go ahead, please.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree. But
and he grabbed her and kept on putting paws on her.
You don't verbally abuse them either.
And with even my ex-wife, to this day, I still love her to the moon. And I would give anything for her. So what I'm trying to say is that when you are truly in love with somebody, you don't put your hands on them. You don't degrade them. You just don't do that. It's not in your heart. So if they're fighting like cats and dogs, it was never really love. It was opportunity.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Go ahead, Shelly. But I gotta say something. There's one person. They said, and you don't use your baby as a pawn either. Well, let me tell you something, Afro. Jeezy is using that baby as a pawn, so he won't have to pay the money. And
they both using that baby.
I know you meant that for Jeezy, but honey, you forgot. Jeezy didn't even take care of his other kids. He don't care about the kids.
So as adults, we can evolve. As adults, we can evolve. We can meet someone else. We can move on. We have a grown brain. But the kids are the biggest victims. What do you ladies think?
Right. Yeah, the kids. You got to think of the kids first. But so get him, G. He ain't take care of his other kids. Get him.
Yeah, he has not taken care of his other kids. What do you think about Jeezy being a father to his other kids, Mike?
Apparently, he's an absent father. Like he's never really in their life, and I mean, it's just he. If you're asking me, he seems like a bum. Like a bum. You know what I'm saying? He seems like a bum. You know what I mean? Let's call it like it is. He's a bum, dude. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I don't drop the N-word, but he's a bum N-word. You know what I'm saying? With the A, not the R. But he's just a bum.
Oh, hell no, Mike. What the hell?
Yeah. He's a bum. He's a bum. And that's what we say in New York. You'd say you're a bum.
Other kids, Rashida.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about. No, I was just talking about that last part he said. But it's put out there that he's a deadbeat, and I don't know the situations behind that. So all I could do is He say he not, they say he is. You know what I'm saying? But he was there for this child. He has been in this child's life. So I don't feel like he should have full custody of this child. I think, again, like I said, they should get joint custody and they should do therapy, because whether they like it or not, they're family forever now.
Yeah, they should get therapy. But you know, he not going to get full custody, so he might as well stop that because she's not unfit. It takes a lot to say that your wife or your baby mother is unfit. And Jeannie Ma ain't done nothing to prove she unfit.
But they
She
Sure.
said
both throwing
she sit
shots
there.
at each other with that. He's saying that it's her mother, and she's saying it's the guns. So
Well,
they both
hold on.
are throwing.
Did he ever say it's her mom? I've never seen that interview.
Yes, yes, he don't like her mother. He been saying that.
Don't like her mother is not the reason why. Is that he said I divorced her because I don't like her mother.
No, he was saying that her mother was too involved in the things that her mother did to her when she was a child. He don't feel that she should be that involved. Like, he's basically saying it the way he made it seem, as if her mother and her brother has the child more than she does.
Yeah, so basically, the mother is very overbearing. In other words, she's always trying to,
Right.
she's overbearing, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't love her or love the child. But some mothers and some fathers can be overbearing. In other words, you got to let me live my life. You got to let me go. That's the hardest thing about having a child. The hardest thing. I don't care. Like my son's 23, and I have a hard time letting him go. And he's a grown freaking man because you love him so much. So even though sometimes you're overbearing, it doesn't mean it's not coming from love. But sometimes it can come from control. They're trying to control. So that's the paradigm that you have to work in. But it's just, I think this child is being used as leverage. Like, in other words, they're using it as like, a fight between the two. This is mine. No, this is mine. No, it's both of yours. You both created this. It's half yours, half mine. But what happens is a lot of parents will use the children as ammunition to hurt each other. And that's the sad part of, I've seen it so many times. I can't even tell you. It's the hardest thing, when a child goes with one parent, but they miss the other parent, but the other parents don't connect. And it just, the child's heart gets broken. And that's why we talk about the broken home, where a child will turn to gangs, will turn to crime or bad habits, or they'll become floozy. You don't try to say, I'm not going to say, they start having relations at a young age because they don't have that foundation of the father and the mother. The child needs both parents, but the parents will use the child as a bargaining chip.
Right.
To hurt each other. That's what they do. And it sucks. Who pays the price? The child.
The child.
That's it.
Okay, Afro Beats gonna say Jeannie has as many F up issues. Well, can you please name me 5 X up issues that Jeannie has? Because I don't know. So
we human, Gigi. We all got issues.
I know we got issues, but tell me Jeannie issues. Tell me 5, because they're trying to paint it. It's Jeannie's fault. I know what they're doing. So I just want to know, why is Jeannie the bad person? Can you tell me?
Afro, call in.
Hold on. You don't got nothing to say, Rashida?
I think that you said 5. Well, I mean, I'm gonna say this. In any relationship, if one person has an attitude that's out of this world, and it's hard for them to listen because they so used to running the show how they used to running it, that could be an issue in itself, and that could spiral and cause a whole lot of other issues. They too strong-minded people. So that's enough alone to send the whole relationship down the spiral, where now we looking at them play tug of war with a baby.
Exactly.
Afro says, sorry, Mike, that she has a felony for stealing in her early 20s. Is that
come on now? What did that got to do with anything? If you look at Jeezy record, it's a whole lot worse. Don't go there. What she did at 20 got something to do with their marriage? Come on.
So theft without violence, that's if she has that charge, You know, there's no violence. So she can have that expunged. And she's not considered a threat. She gets her rights back. So listen, if you make a stupid mistake, in other words, if you R-word somebody or you M-word somebody, then yes, you deserve to be miserable for the rest of your life because you took someone's innocence. But if you went and you shoplifted and or whatever, you stole a car, it is what it is. But if you didn't hurt anybody, if you didn't harm anybody, physically harm anybody, that person should get a second chance at life. They should. Because you didn't hurt
stole stuff. Who didn't steal stuff? Who didn't go through the line at the market and pick up free candy and free gum?
That's it.
That Shelly, bro, I've been stole, but some people haven't. But go ahead. I get your point.
Oh, you said wait.
Everybody done stole something. Gigi, everybody done stole something, even if it's time.
We done stole something.
Well,
even if it's time.
You ain't never pick up some food and eat it and you ain't pay for it.
No.
Gigi,
you know you done ate like 3 of them.
You know you done did something.
Gigi, you know you done ate 3 of them grapes before you scanned that bag.
Well, Gigi,
you know you've been on that buffet.
It's not stealing. As long as you pay for it, that's not stealing.
But if you did it before you paid for it, you stole it.
That's stealing. That's not stealing. But I get it. A lot of people do steal.
Yes, they do.
But now let me tell you something. If someone steals with violence, in other words, if somebody was to strike strike somebody or something like that, then yes, then she should be held accountable. But like I said, there are crimes. There are people that have stuff on their record that looks bad, but they didn't harm anyone. They were in the moment. They did something dumb. And they regret it, but they didn't harm me. But the people I don't like is people that harm people, people that beat people, people that R-word people, people that N-word people. That's not forgivable. That's not, to me, that's not forgivable. You have to go before God for that. But like I said,
you heard about the story, how she tried to leave, but he would not allow her to leave.
Yes. So that's actually in some states. Yeah. It's what is it called?
Who said that, Gigi?
She said it in the reports.
Yeah.
Jeannie Ma said she was trying to leave him and he wouldn't let her.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was trying to leave him and he wouldn't let her leave.
Yes.
He was stopping her. Yep.
And she wanted to leave. She was walking away. She didn't bring out no red dragon. And he held her against her will and then started to pound on her. And Jeannie Ma, she is so small, Rashida. She is
Let's just say he's a man and he shouldn't be putting his hands on her because size ain't got nothing to do with it. I done seen the smallest of females knock the biggest of guys out. We just gonna say
something to do with it, Rashida, because if you got a big back line back and you hit them, they may not feel it as much as a small petite person. She's gonna bruise more, it's gonna hurt her more. I think size does matter. But I understand you don't believe that, but I feel like size matters.
Yeah, he just shouldn't have been putting his hands on her, period, whether she was small, big.
Yeah. So there's something.
I think they'd do more damage if you're smaller and petite.
Yeah.
There's something called being imposing. So if you're a larger guy like me, like I'm 6'3", I'm only about 210. I used to be 235. I'm a bigger guy. My ex-wife was 5'4", 5'5", maybe 120 pounds. And if I was to, and I never have, but if I was to raise my voice and tell her she ain't going nowhere, I'm like twice her size. She's gonna cower. So I think that it does make sense that bigger men can intimidate smaller women. It is true. Now, can a woman whoop a dude's ass? I've seen it before, but I'm just saying it's very rare because men are very physically stronger. They are. And but like I said, once again, bigger men are imposing. They're very imposing. And just kind of like the whole Diddy thing with his persona. Now, Diddy's not a huge guy. He's about my size. No, he's a little shorter, but he's about my size. But he has all that. He has that swag. You know what I'm saying? These men have this swag to intimidate people. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they ain't gonna do nothing. And they put their hands on you, and then, you know, they get locked up. But I think that the bigger guys do intimidate females. And any female listening, don't be intimidated, because there's guys like me that will come in and rip that guy out the house for you. So go ahead, ladies. No problem. But yeah, men try to intimidate. They try to intimidate people, you know.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened to Shelly, but we do have a few callers I answer. Calling from 912. You're live on the air.
Yes. I would like to say that I am so sorry about what happened to the young lady, Mahogany.
Ma'am,
But
we on a different story. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you go, okay?
What the hell, Gigi?
678, you're live on the air.
Hello. How is everybody?
Good.
Salute, gentlemen. Salute.
Gigi. Hey, Gigi. This is Trey.
Hey, Trey. What's up? I didn't catch your voice.
How y'all doing? So I want to chime in on the whole Jeezy and Jeannie Mai thing.
Okay.
Prior to her being married to Jeezy, I don't know if people watched The Real when she was on there, but for 11 years she was married to a guy named Freddie. Her first marriage lasted 11 years. And one of the reasons why she and Freddie got a divorce was because she didn't want children and he wanted children. That was one of the main reasons. So in less than a year after they divorced, he got with a woman and started making children immediately with the brand new woman. And so I honestly believe she's someone that never wanted children. So when she got with Jeezy, she only had that baby because Jeezy wanted that baby.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
She never wanted, because she was with her first husband for 11 years, and that was one of the main reasons why he left her, allegedly, which makes sense, because as soon as he got with the new wife in less than a year, he started having kids with the new wife, right?
Right.
So Jeannie is somebody who didn't want children, but I guess her second time around, she said to herself, well, this was one of the main reasons why my first husband and I split, so let me go out and pop out at least one and see how it goes. But the only problem was, when she had the baby, Jeezy wasn't around a lot. And if you remember, her mom was there all the time. And one of the main things where they went wrong, her mother and her brother moved in with her and Jeezy. And I don't think he liked her mother and brother being there 24/7. Her mother and her brother actually moved in with them. And I think that was part of it. And then I think as a result, Jeezy just wasn't in the home a lot. Now, as far as her saying, the thing about the guns, now, I know she showed pictures of the guns that were taken in the house, right? I don't know if y'all saw that. And she was saying that she was afraid that the baby was going to get hold of the guns. And they show him on video, he's walking around his house with a damn machine gun.
That's crazy. That is so
Y'all
crazy.
saw that, right?
Yeah, why would he be walking around the house with AK-47? He had all the guns around. And Trey, she begged that man, please keep these guns up, please. And
because she was afraid, because the baby was crawling and walking, and she was afraid, I guess, that the baby could, and that has happened to people, right? So then she was afraid of that. And I think now, though, the two of them are using, now, I think this is on both ends. I think they're both using the baby as leverage against each other. It happens in divorce. And so he's asking for full custody. He's not going to get full custody. Because in order for a judge to grant a dad full custody from a mom, he has to really prove that mom to be unfit. And he's not going to be able to prove her to be unfit, because if he had a reason that he thought she was unfit, he would have already told us.
He would have. And why would he play games like that? You don't play about About her
You
child.
can't prove her
You do
until
not play with her
right. You would
child
have to
like
have
that. Shame on
yeah.
him.
So
He's already putting the baby
what the
in danger
judges
by even trying to do this.
exactly, Gigi. So you know what's gonna end up happening? When Jeannie Mai got on national TV and said, and I'm paraphrasing here, and I know you all know this, and y'all know what I'm about to say. When Jeannie Mai got on national TV on the real and said, well, dark meat is good, she was pretty much saying black men are good for sex, but you don't marry them. We all remember she said that, right?
Right. They wouldn't let it go.
She said black men are good for sex, but you don't actually marry them. That is what she said on that show. And then fast forward, Jeezy marries her. Jeezy, do you think just because she got with you, she doesn't still think that way? You know what I'm saying? I don't think, and I'm going to be honest with you, and I could be wrong. I'm starting to believe Jeezy got with Jenny to up his stock. Nobody, think about it. Jeezy was a well-known rapper. He's popular in the urban sector. But when he got with her, now he has TMZ following him, right?
Right.
He has a broader audience because everyone wants to know, well, who is this rapper that Jeannie Mai is with? Now, we knew him. And so now everybody's in their business. She introduced him to a whole new audience of people. Do you remember that interview he did with Nia Long? Do y'all remember that?
Yeah, we remember
he
it.
did that interview?
Yeah.
Okay, he sat up there and talked about black women are this and black women are that and black women are this and black women are that. Well, why is it, Jeezy, that you've had all these baby mamas who were black women, but they weren't fit for you to marry? You didn't marry any of them. So you're saying you have this deep love for black women, but the only woman you've married is Vietnamese. But you love black women so much, and they've always been this and that. You have all these black baby mamas, but the only woman you've ever actually put a ring on it is a Vietnamese woman. So where's the love for black women? Really, where is the love for black women? If you love black women so much, why haven't you ever married one?
Because he don't love them. Shit.
Right. All of that was cap.
It was pandering.
And what's end up
That's what they do. They're going to pander. Right. It's pandering.
Right. And what's going to happen is Jeannie Mai's going to take half of everything you had, Jeezy. She is. Now, you'll probably be granted joint custody. Now, I think the judge will probably grant them joint custody. He's probably going to do that. But she's going to take everything you have. You're going to pay her alimony. And you're going to pay her child support too, Jeezy. You are. You definitely are. But this should be a lesson to him. This is exactly what Jeezy gets. I was reading the comments. I think it was on the Neighborhood Talk where they had showed the pictures and the video from the house with him walking around with the gun and the gun being on the floor in the bedroom. And do you know, it was flooded where black women said, well, didn't she know she got with a gangster? He's supposed to protect his house. And I'm like, are y'all that narrow-minded that y'all are skipping the fact that they had a baby crawling and walking through the house?
Right. Well, hold on. Let me add a black woman to the... Trey, you're right. But let me add a black woman to the conversation. KFC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did you hear that part? And Trey, I want you to keep talking because I love when you're talking. But since you brought that up, I'm sure it got a lot of people antennas up, like a red flag and set up like a goddamn antenna. Right. They said, what did Trey say? Hold up. So KFC, why are so many, and Rashida, I add you too, so many girls are saying, well, as if Jeannie signed up for this, as if, he's a thug, then this is what thugs do. They have guns around the house, they're irresponsible, and they may knock you out. What's the deal, KFC?
I think black women are the only reason why black women are saying that about him because he was dating outside his race. Because they know deep down inside, if Jeezy wanted to date them, they would date him. I don't think that has anything to do with anything. And as far as that photo is concerned, I haven't seen that photo. You know what I mean? So I can't comment on it. But how do you know where that photo came from?
It came from the cameras, the house cameras.
But how do you know it wasn't something else? And she's just trying to use it for Cat.
Because we looking at the pictures right now.
Okay, so why does she continue to stay in the house then? She's worried about her daughter's life. What about her own life? She's not worried about her own life? So it's okay for him to have a gun in the house when she's in there, but not the baby? Like, I don't know. People be all over the place in their thought process. I don't know. I don't know.
Trey, what's your comment?
Why didn't she say it wasn't a safe environment for me and my daughter? She's just saying it's not a safe environment for the daughter. What about yours? You've been staying there all this time before the baby came. He probably still had the gun in the house, and you weren't complaining about it.
Okay, hold on, KFC. Rashida, did you hear what Trey was saying? When he put comments, he saw a lot of black girls pretty much saying, hey, you know, this is what she signed up for.
Right.
And I know you said something to that degree too.
I did. I said that everybody knew Jeezy's background, his history. Just like we know it, she knew it. And I think this is just me personally. I believe she's a night rider. The picture of the guns I did see, it looked like they was in a hotel, but y'all said it was their house. Okay. Was the baby asleep? Was the baby even there? Because I mean, when my kid not here, I pull my gun out too. So, and if I'm around adults and we in here, or it's just me and my husband and my kid not here, or she sleep, we'll take it out and clean it. And if he happened to snap a picture of it, and like if the baby was in I don't know, because it's too many people that have guns, so you can't just say that it was a situation where he was walking around the house, the baby crawling on the floor, and the gun is on the floor too. Because if she was there when it happened, then why didn't she pick it up herself and put it away? Why didn't she make him? Why didn't she take the baby out? Is like, you can't use that. If y'all both are in the house, then y'all both are equally responsible, because when the cops come, they don't want to hear none of that. They're gonna take the baby to DFACS, and y'all both going in.
Yeah. So I think what you're saying is that they might have been staged. Like, she may have put him on the floor and took a picture. You know, it might have been. Allegedly.
He might have had it out. He might have had it out, but was the baby there in that time? Because I don't know of anybody who's just gonna randomly have their baby out. I'm not saying they don't do it, but I know that when I'm ready to clean my weapon, or if we about to go out, because we have a license to carry, and then we have our home weapon. We pull our weapon out when it's time to go, or when it's time to clean it, or if we about to go to the range, we pull it out. So if somebody snap a picture while it's out, that doesn't necessarily mean my child is in danger.
Yeah.
And the thing is, house with that gun, and she kept begging him, please put the guns up, please. But go ahead, Mike.
No, you're right. So gun safety is very important. The thing is that when kids are around, now, if there's a gun on the table, or on the floor, and it's unloaded, there's no ammo in it. It can only hurt you if you hit yourself in the head with it. But it's still irresponsible. You should have your gun secured. I mean, you should. I have a safe. You know, when I carry, it's on me. If I come home, I take it off, I put it in the safe. But when I'm sitting somewhere, I usually have something off to the side, usually a rifle. But because it's safety, it's home intruders and stuff like that. I mean, we live in a crazy world. You want to protect yourself. But if I have family over, because my kids are grown, but if I have like nieces and nephews over, I put them away, because I don't want them to even touch them. I put them away. I lock them up. But if he truly had, if allegedly, if they were firearms that had ammo in them, that's horrible. But once again, like I'm trying to say, is that it could be staged. She could have put them there and took a picture and said, look at this, but we don't know that. We don't know that yet. So it's complicated.
we could not stage him walking around with his gun.
Exactly. So if he's walking around with the gun around the children, is the gun loaded? Is it not loaded? But still, it's a symbolism. You shouldn't be walking around with a firearm. Why are you? I mean, why are you walking around with a gun around your kids? That's traumatizing to them. You know, he's indoctrinating into that lifestyle that. Listen, if you went through stuff when you were young, if you were a criminal, if you went through the hood life, if you went through hard times, you want to improve your kids. You don't want to bring them down because that's not.
Why does he need an AK-47? I mean, these were not just small guns; these were huge, heavy machinery guns.
Yep, I understand. You only need it. So an AK-47 you can't hunt with. You can't hunt with that. So now I have an AR-15 right over here. Okay, and that's my service, my service rifle. So I can, but it's just like AK-47. Why do you need that? Like I don't, unless you're in the military or you're law enforcement, or you have to use it, in duty. You don't need that. I mean, get a handgun, have a handgun, but him walking around with it, it makes him feel emboldened. It makes him feel like he's important, like he's so tough. You're tough when you put the gun down and you throw hands. That's when you're tough. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's when you're tough. Because you don't need a gun to make you a man. You don't need that. And people that have those long guns, we call them long guns, because they have to use them for work, or what they do, their profession. But like him walking around with that, it made me disgust. It's just disgusting. And the kids are looking at him and going, "Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna do the same thing when I get older." No, don't do that. Listen, every person has the right to have a firearm. I believe everyone in America listening should own a firearm because you have to protect yourself. Because police response time is so bad now. Usually, it's just there to take the report. So you should have a firearm. Get trained, go through the process. Get a lockbox, lock it up. If you have long guns, have a safe. But the thing is that, walking around showing it to your kids like you're cool, to me, that's really nasty. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. What do you ladies think?
Rashida?
But nobody said he was walking around showing it to the kids. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. All I know is this. Jeezy was once in the streets. He was a street dude. At one point in time, people were trying to murk him. Mm-hmm. He has PTSD. He don't trust nobody. He's in the industry.
Bipolar, Rashida.
Yes, but if we're having this,
all these big handguns.
But what I'm saying to you is that how we sitting here having this conversation about it, and we knew what his background was. She knew what it was. Not saying that he right for that, but she chose to say yes to him, knowing all of these things. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I don't know what you're saying because he came as a redeemed man. He came. He has changed
with women. He was saying that now he's ready to be in love. Now he's ready to get married. That's not going to change his PTSD. That's not going to change the fact that he felt like people was out to get him. That's not going to change the fact of where he came from. So he's still going to have some type of protection. He's in the industry. I don't think, if any, you have all these people in the industry, either they own weapons themselves or they walk around with people who own weapons. Everybody has weapons. So for him to have a weapon is not a thing. Now, if the baby is crawling around on the floor or playing and he's walking around with yes, get out. Now that's where it's like, okay, he is wrong. He needs help. I'm going to pick my baby up. I'm going to walk out that door. I'm going to let them know that one, he shouldn't have these weapons. He need help, but she has to take her responsibility in it as well as he. They both need help, because if it was okay for him to walk around with those AK-47s before he decided to divorce you and it wasn't a problem, it shouldn't be a problem now.
was never okay, Rashida. She begged him, put the guns up. Thank God she was there, Rashida, because if she was not there, the baby would have got a hold to these AK-47s. And especially when she has bipolar, he
It's
can trigger or
it's
anything.
possible.
Has
It's
a bad
possible.
anger. He triggered angrily. He have a bad temper, Rashida.
All
Let
right,
me.
and we don't know him personally from a can of paint. So if we know that she is married to this man,
If anybody approaches, so in other words, if he has PTSD, he should not have a firearm. He should seek help, and then if he's cleared, then they'll give them back. And there's laws changing now where people have PTSD or people that are mentally ill. That's why the checks are getting better and better for people that own firearms, because when your judgment is clouded, you do something terrible. But the thing is that if he's walking around an AK and any kind of officer, sheriff, police officer, state police, anybody was to approach him and he has it in his hand and he raises that, goodbye.
yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that, Mike. But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a man. You're married to a woman. She has everything mentally going on with her that Jeezy got going on with her. She got firearms. So where in that? Now he's totally wrong. If all of these everything we saying is factual, because right now all we doing is what? We speculating. We going off of what we heard and we adding our little twist to it or putting our 2 cents in and telling what we believe, right?
Said, Rashida. This is what
Okay.
they said. But go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, why is it that he's the only one being nailed to the cross for this, but she can't own up to her part in the wrongdoing? It takes two. If you felt your child was in danger, that was the point for you to go. Take it. I don't care about working nothing out. If I feel like my child in danger, forget a marriage. I ain't getting my child out of danger's way.
That's a good point. And the thing is that I'm not exactly sure the answer to that right now. Maybe he was more aggressive in interrogation. I'm not exactly sure because some people can, be more calm. I'm not sure if he was a hothead, in when he was interrogated and the whole thing. I don't know. But the thing is that
I got something to say about that. Well,
yeah.
this I think is,
60 seconds.
okay, 60 seconds. Okay, Rashida, this is Jeannie mom. I see all these guns. I tell that man, please put the guns up. I have my baby. I know it's going to be a level of safety because I'm watching my baby and I got my mom, and my mom don't play that. My brother don't play that. But
Right.
he's going on a rampage and he's doing this. Thank God that I am here. I can't imagine me not being here and my child is in his supervision, how reckless he is. I have to constantly tell him to please do X, Y, and Z. Without my supervision, he's going to do all types of irresponsible stuff. And he have never raised a child. He has kids, but he don't care about his kids. He never raised his
10
kids.
seconds.
So he don't understand. He don't have the same level of care that I have, that Jeannie has about her own child. So that is her argument. He put hands on her.
I
Okay.
already agreed. I don't think he needs full custody. I said that. I made that clear. I don't think he should have full custody. And if he's that far off his rockers where he's like this menace and he walking around with guns and he looking out of windows and doing all of this crazy stuff, then he needs help.
So what's going to happen is he's going to get supervised custody. He's going to get supervised. So CPS will step in, and they'll have a social worker, or they'll even have a police officer there, because it's only like an hour or two, and they'll have someone there, and to monitor his behavior. So if he is unhinged, he can still see his child. That's his right. It's his God-given right to see his child, but it's going to be supervised. It's not going to be alone. He's not going to take the kid off somewhere, and it's really tough because where I'm at, they'll have CPS and they'll have a sheriff, and they'll have them go, and they'll just like be there in the room. It's uncomfortable. You're looking at your kid, and you're trying to talk to your kid, and then you got a cop and you got a CPS agent, a social worker, and it's just weird, and the kid's the kid's uncomfortable. The kid's like, what the heck's going on here? I can't even hang with my.
It
But the
looks
thing
like
is
that's
that,
the way it's going. CPS is going to get involved because if she out here posting pictures and videos saying that the baby was around and he was all crazy with guns out and she had to do this, CPS probably already involved.
And
now,
Rashida fighting for her child. He threatened her child, trying to take full custody. She
They
is
not doing Gigi. If everything they saying is true, they not giving him full custody. He does deserve to see
that's
his child.
what he wants. That's what he wants because he don't want to pay no money. But
Yeah, he did. He
And that,
deserved.
thank
when
you,
you
Gigi.
come
I'm
up,
glad you brought that up.
when you come up like I want full custody, that is a threat to her child. You're trying to take her child from her. So of course she has to fight for it. This is what she's putting out. She's not doing it just to have him a bad name. She's fighting for her child. She's
But that's what I said. I said she only saying this, and it's only a problem now because he wants full custody, and that goes back to they're using the child as a pawn.
Rashida. It was a problem then, and it's a problem now. She's complaining and putting it out, but I'm sure she didn't like getting hit. I'm sure she didn't like having all that stuff going on. So it was always a problem. She
She
just
wanted to stay with him, though. She made that clear that he was the
she
best man. She
Rashida,
was praising him to the high heavens.
she wanted to make it work.
yeah.
But please don't get it confused that she liked getting popped, she liked getting hit.
No, I didn't say she liked anything.
That was still a problem because some of you guys are making it out well. It wasn't a problem when he was going upside your head when y'all was together. It was still a problem, but she was willing to work through it because how she believes her is stick in this marriage through whatever. She was still painting him as a nice guy, even though they were going through horrible situations. She was
So
still
that's
protecting him. That's what
all
you
right.
protecting your mate. She
All
always
right. But Gigi, is that not putting a man before your child?
No, you don't understand. Women get victimized. They actually get victimized. It's almost like, you know, they almost believe their abuse is their fault. And that's what happens. It's psychology. I'm a psychology major. I mean, I'm just telling you,
Oh,
you
okay. So
start
he
to,
was. I get it. I get it. He was abusing her, and then the guns, and she was just trying to go to therapy and change the dynamics of their relationship and stick it out.
so,
And then
so
he filed for the. Okay,
a
I didn't
man
know
or a
that.
woman, a man or a woman that has a stronger energy or has control over you. In other words, they can talk you into the abuse is your fault. It's all your fault. And this happens all the time. And people start to believe, what was it called? Remember Patty Hearst? I don't know if you remember that from like the 70s. In other words, she was a terrorist and then she was a captain and then became a terrorist. What I'm trying to say is that people can will you into these ridiculous thoughts in your head. It's never okay to hit somebody. It's never okay to harm somebody. It's just not okay. But people, they start to accept what they're going through like it's almost their fault. People are very manipulative.
Oh, I know
He's
how
a,
it works,
yeah, he's a manipulator. That's what he does. He manipulates.
but
And I
she does
believe
too. They both need
exactly.
help. At the end of the day,
hold on, Rashida. I'm gonna go back to Trey. Hold on, Trey. I'm sorry. Continue. Go
Oh
off
no,
with
you
your
fine.
rant. Keep going, Trey.
And can we? And then a lot of people say, well, why did she stay if he was doing all this? I just mentioned, a lot of people don't talk about this. Her first husband, she was married to for 11 years. Her first husband, she was married to for 11 years. That's a long time, right? So it could be that when she got with Jeezy and she had a baby, maybe she wanted to stick it out and she wanted to work because the first marriage of 11 years didn't work. And maybe she said, you know what? I have a baby this time around and this is marriage number
Right.
2. I'm going to try to work this out for the sake of this baby that I've had now. This baby deserves to have a mother and a father. And that is why a lot of mothers will tell you, well, I stayed for the kids.
They
We hear that
sure
all
do.
the time, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, you do, Trey.
I was willing to put my issues to the side so that my kids could say they grew up with a mother and father in the home. Now, is that always the best thing for the children? No. But I see why women choose to do it because they want it to work. And like I said, this was a woman who spent 11 years of her life in a marriage that ended up ending. And she didn't want to get with this man, and they're having problems the first year. They started having problems the first year. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So she wanted it to work, and unfortunately, it did not work. Now he's asking for. I honestly believe he's asking for full custody. He knows he's not going to get full custody because you have to prove her to be unfit. He's not going to be able to prove her to be unfit. But the reason why he's asking for full custody, I think, is because he really wants to irk her nerves right now. That's the first thing. The second thing is he doesn't want to pay her child support. He's trying not to pay it. He doesn't want to pay child support. He don't want to do it. And I think the third reason he's doing it, revert back to number one, to irk her nerves. That's exactly why he's doing it. But being that she's proven, you know, she has the evidence of him walking around with that type of gun, why does he feel like he needs to walk around with that type of gun? Is he in fear of his life in his own home?
That's scary. Because if he got
him?
Trey, if he got those type of enemies, those thug gangsters, mafia with Acorn, then you putting the whole family at risk. Because if they're gonna come and do something because of you, then they're gonna spray the whole family up. That's a lot. That's a liability.
They will. So he's in fear of his life, it seems. He's paranoid. And so at the end of the day,
and you know he deal with a lot of mental health, Trey. He always talk about, you know, him trying to get help because he deal with a lot of mental problems.
The only thing I know about Jeezy that was in the news a few years ago is when him and his 17-year-old son got in a fight and Jeezy got arrested. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Tell us about
him and the son at the time. Okay, the son was 17 at the time. Now, this is the only thing that I really, really know. And then there are some other things about his best friend being killed, but that's another thing. But this, him and his 17-year-old son.
His best friend got killed. He got death all around him, huh? Go ahead. It's more to Jeezy than meets the eye.
The friend had gotten murdered by, was it Gucci and his crew? That's why when they did the verses, a lot of people were scared that some stuff was going to pop off because him and Gucci have such a bad history. They hated each other at one time. Okay? Him and Gucci Mane hated each other. So when they did the verses, a whole lot of people were nervous, like, ooh. And Gucci Mane talked so much crap to him during that verses, it looked like it was about to go the other way. They don't like each other, never did. Okay. But going back, allegedly him and his son got into, it's not alleged, but him and the son got into a very bad fight. Jeezy was arrested, and the baby mama was saying that Jeezy said that he was going to put a bullet in their son's head.
Oh, a pow in his son's head. What? Okay, say that again.
Yeah, a pow.
This is ridiculous.
A pow. So at the time, the son was 17. Now, I do remember when that happened. And so I just thought to throw that in there. But I think what's going to end up happening here, they're going to get a divorce. I think she's going to get alimony. She's going to get child support. And he's going to get probably eventually joint custody, but he's probably going to have to prove himself to be fit for joint custody. So they'll probably, like that man said, he'll probably have supervised visitation with the child. And so that way him and Jeannie won't even have to see each other. So when it's time for the daughter to go and visit the dad, Jeannie will not accompany her. And so the child will see the both of them, but him and Jeannie won't even have to see each other after that.
Well, that's
how that works.
That's good.
That's how that works. And you know, sometimes when parents are on good terms, one parent, have you ever been like at Starbucks and you're parked in the parking lot and you'll see a car parked and then you'll see another car come beside it? Have you ever seen a mom?
Yeah,
and dad,
I thought they was doing a drug deal.
Yeah, but they're exchanging the kids.
Oh,
have you ever seen that?
Now, I ain't seen no kids. I just see cars parked and then another one pull up. I said that must be a drug transaction. But go ahead.
Well, that too. And so I've seen it before where the little boy or girl will get out and the mom will say, you know, have fun, and then the dad will wave back to the mom. That's what they're doing. They're exchanging kids, and they said, well, let's meet up somewhere public. And they don't necessarily go to each other's homes, but they'll do it like at a Starbucks. I've actually seen parents do that, and I say, oh, they're exchanging the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. And that's when you're on good terms, though. But when you're like the two of them, the child can go ahead and visit the dad. The mom never accompanies the child. And that's how they do that, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? But that's probably, and yeah, he's going to have to pay her alimony and child support. So he's not going to get out of that. He's going to have to. And this is a tough lesson for him, but it is what it is, Jesus. It is what it is.
Mm.
It is what it is.
You right about that?
You know, I don't know why he went and married her after she made that comment about black men in the first place. But hey, you chose to still marry her.
Well, they asked him about it, and he was fine with it. And the reason why, if you want to know why that didn't bother him, because he didn't want her for love, Trey. He wanted her to get him into doors that he couldn't get in. Like people are saying, when he got with her, he was open up to a whole demographic. And he was seen in a whole different light. Like he has redeemed himself.
Mm-hmm.
He is different. He's not with a hood rat, but he's with Jeannie Ma. Jeannie Ma, she's articulate. She's smart. You know, they have a certain image about Jeannie Ma, even though she said when she was younger, she was ratchet. However, Jeannie Ma is not the same girl she used to be. She have changed. She has redeemed herself. And she talks about her past. She's not hiding from it. And people accept her as the new Jeannie Ma because people didn't know her as an old Jeannie Ma. So they're just taking the stories that she would tell. So her being with Jeezy, it's like, okay, well, you know, he must be a redeemed man too. He don't live the thug lifestyle, and it's two individuals that's been redeemed that have changed for the better coming together to unite. But people are saying that Jeezy, his intentions was never love. He never loved her. He wanted to use her for an image. And I guess he had planned to be with her forever. Why did he keep pressuring her to have that goddamn baby? I don't know. But go ahead, Trey.
Yeah, but and so like I said, I don't think she ever wanted children, and that's fine, you know, because that was the reason why her and the first husband split. She was with him 11 years and never popped out a baby. So that means she really didn't want children and really was not willing to bend on that, right?
Right.
So I think so when she got with him, and even though he already had kids, he probably said, well, let's just go and have one. Let's just go and have one. And so they had one. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that was one of the reasons that she probably wanted to go ahead and stick it out. You know, she probably was like, damn, we had this baby. I don't want to just jump ship. Yeah, things ain't looking too good right now, but maybe through counseling, we probably can make it work. I'm going to just try to make this work because this is marriage number 2 for me. You know what I'm saying? So let me see if I can make this work. And it didn't. And they had problems early on. And they weren't married, 2.5 years? Y'all realize they were only married 2.5 years. That's it. Now they dated like a year before actually marrying, right? So if you put it all together, they dealt with each other 3.5 years altogether? That ain't a long time. That's not a long time at all, right? So I just think this is going to continue though. This was, I think once we saw the pictures from the camera of him going through the house and then the picture of the gun being on the floor, I think this divorce is going to really start to get even messier and messier though. This isn't all we're going to see from this.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be more. Do you think that Jeezy going to fight back? Is he going to say something horrible about her?
I don't think he has anything because I think he would already use it.
You're right. I don't think he got nothing. He doesn't have nothing.
He ain't got that more. Because I remember she used to post that this was this during COVID, and she used to post videos of her and the baby all the time. And she used to go to she actually used to go live. And I know her mother was always at her house. Her mother was always there with them, right? So she would post stuff with the mom playing with the baby, then she would be playing with the baby, her and the mom playing with the baby. You know what I'm saying? Her mother was always there.
Right.
But we never saw Jeezy. And folks used to say in the comment, well, where is Jeezy? Her mom is there all the time, but I ain't never see him. They were already having issues.
Wow.
Yeah. So they were already having issues early on. But I do think he married her to up his stock. Nobody, I'm telling you, she introduced him to a whole new audience.
Yep, that's what everybody is saying.
You know?
Mm-hmm. All right,
So
Shelly Boo, I see you back. What happened to you?
Oh, I was outside the club.
Okay, tear the club up. Tear the club.
No, I was outside. I told them I was leaving because they got in. The girl got in talking about she ain't want no camera. I said I'm not on live, and she got arguing about a camera in her face. So I said, all right. Yeah. So I left the club. I was at the club when I came in.
Oh, okay.
Magic City.
So, what are your thoughts? Did you hear what Trey just said? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I caught the last bit. I agree. I mean, I do believe if he going to divorce her this fast, and he really didn't say why, then I think it was a come up because he never said she did something, and I was waiting to hear, and because usually they the first to say why, well, I'm leaving, whatever happened, but I never heard him say anything. They just had, people speculating, saying that somebody cheated, because that's the only reason why people are totally break if someone cheat. But what he said, I agree with. I don't know if Sharonda's still in there or KFC.
Yeah, bring them up. Hey, Mike. Hey, KFC. I'll bring y'all all up.
They still in there. Y'all don't agree that the way Jeezy done this thing without telling Jeannie Ma that he was the problem?
It's interesting because a lot and me having my ex-wife, she was Asian and Puerto Rican, and it is common for some Asian mothers or to move in the house with you, so they are a very tight-knit family. So it is, but it is strange that he was never there, because usually he'd be there, but it's definitely interesting. What do y'all think?
I think maybe he was not there because he know he have to do right. He know he has to straighten up. I mean, this is a real family dynamic. And I question, when he was growing up, did he have a family? Was he raised by a single mom? Is he used to that family dynamic of having grandma there and having this tight knit family there and coming together as one unit?
He not.
Go ahead.
He not. He told a story about him and his mom, but I'm telling you, Gigi, he did not like her mom because of what happened to Jeannie when she was a baby. Y'all do realize that her mom just reconciled they relationship, right?
Yeah, I do remember that.
She was being essayed by her mother's brother, and her mother would not believe her. She chose her brother over her child. So they had a very, very bad relationship. So to hear, and I'm not giving him any type of excuse, because if he got issues, he got issues. Period.
Yeah.
He don't know what it's like to have a tight knit family either, because his mom never showed him love. You get what I'm saying? That's why he is the way that he is. But if you see, it's foreign to him. But if your wife is telling you that these things happen, right? If you really care, a real man, we gotta say a man that will not abuse a woman, a man that loves his wife. If he hear those type of stories about what her mom did to her, and then the next minute she's moving in and y'all have a baby, you don't trust it, because that's one of them.
He was perpetrating them because before the mom came and moved in, he was taking the mom all around talking about how he loved her and she like a mom to him. So he
Yeah,
was sending mixed messages.
he could have been maybe, or maybe he was really trying to have a relationship with her. But from what I know, and I don't want to be stereotypic,
Mm.
however you say it, but they're tight knit. But the moms normally run the household.
Oh,
That's
so
how
you
They're
it
thought
over,
she
works.
was in there? You thought she was in there being pushy?
overbearing, very overbearing.
Yeah,
Very
You know, to
overbearing.
overbearing. That's how they, yeah.
yeah.
But he
And
still, but the fact of the matter is this: whether that was the reason why he wasn't there was because of the mom or not, that's still his child. He still didn't take care of his other kids, so everybody say, right, the kids and the moms and stuff. So
yeah,
he still has his issues to work on, but it is safe to say that they both need help, because the kid is going to be the only one to suffer in the end, regardless of what happened. That child
Right.
is going to be the only one to suffer.
but what happens, and as a man, what happens is that if you feel emasculated, you know, you almost remove yourself. You feel disrespected. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he
Yeah.
felt disrespected and he distanced himself, but he should not have done that. He should have figured out a way to work on it. But
Right.
not everybody knows psychology. Not everybody knows if you're a street guy, you know, you get disrespected, you got two ways to do it. You can throw hands or you can bounce. You know, so I'm thinking that maybe the mother was probably a very powerful force. I'm allegedly, and with the mother and the daughter ganging up on him, you're not doing this, you're not doing this right, you're not doing that right. Maybe it drove him to bounce. You know, what do you think?
If you taking a man who is already been broken, right?
Yeah,
Because he been broken. He made that very clear. He was broken. He never got love from his mother, so he turned to the streets. The streets raised him. He made that very clear numerous times. So we taking a man that's broken, trying to change, but really not, well, I'm gonna say this. Because you can tell that he's changed a lot, but he backslides. So he didn't get his whole life together, and you pair it with Jeannie's life and what she went through in her past, and it's just you, you're not gonna get a beautiful story in the end
yeah,
when people are not fully healed from the things they've done, or from the things that was done to them.
sure,
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Hmm.
It's a chemical imbalance. So in other words, when you go through a lot of trauma, your mind, the chemicals, you have a chemical imbalance, or you're emotionally disturbed. And then the higher one is bipolar. You know, there's different levels of mental illness. There's different levels of it, and
Yeah.
some you can come back from. But the problem is that if you have a high mental illness issue and you take all this medication, it makes you like a zombie. You know, you're just like walking around going, you know. So, and
Yeah.
I no, and I'm not making fun of nobody. I mean, mental illness is real,
I know what you mean.
but
Yeah.
Hey,
PTSD is basically a fancy word for mental illness. That's what that is. Your brain
Yeah.
shifts. The chemicals in your brain shift. You have problems deciphering normal things. You get mad easily. You get sad easily. You know, so
Right.
it is real. So he needs therapy. But
so mixing that with this type of family dynamic, what do you think is going to come from that? You got to bring race into this, right? Because of the difference in how we live. Certain
Uh-huh.
things that's okay to some is not okay to others. So we talking about somebody with a chemical imbalance, and this is not giving him no excuses. He still needs help.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
It
thing
just
is, ladies. Sorry, go.
Let
like
Trey say something. Trey been waiting. Go ahead,
I want to
Trey.
bring in something about. I know you brought up the fact that Jeannie has been very open about the fact that when she was younger, she was essayed by a family member, and so she talked about that on the real too. But um, one of the things that Jeezy revealed in his interview with Nia Long when they were on BET together was that he was molested. That was one. I don't know if y'all
Okay.
remember
Hold
that.
on. Wait. I was Trey.
You can't say that. You can't say that alone. You can't say that.
Yeah. Not just that. I didn't know all that either.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That was.
Oh, Gigi, you didn't see the interview.
I did. I just didn't watch all of it.
Right.
Shit.
Oh.
Right.
They were
That
both
was Jeezy revealed to Nia Long in the interview.
Ooh, y'all tell so much. Go ahead. Go tell y'all truth.
So I think. So I think, being that they both were Essa's children, according to the both of them, okay. I think we need to ask ourselves, well, that doesn't happen to everybody as a child. So that's not normal. That's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to have your innocence taken at such a young age. And it's interesting that these two people got together and they both have that similar background in their childhoods. And I'm wondering if
trauma bonding
completely healed from that trauma.
Right. They could have been trauma bonding. They could have been. You get what I'm saying? But
not even
like Mike was saying, he got a chemical imbalance. If his attitude didn't change, or he's still a paranoid and all of that, he still has a chemical imbalance. You get what I'm saying? Everybody essay story, they don't take it the same. Some people, they can thrive behind it because they don't look at themselves as victims, and some can't get over it. So it just depends on the person and their mentality.
Self-medicate a lot. A lot of people choose to self-medicate.
He used to drink a lot. He used to be a heavy drinker.
And
that's what I was telling Gigi.
Yeah,
I think he was still doing it.
From his and it's one thing for it to happen to a woman. Most men struggle to even admit that it happened to him. So when he revealed that on that, shocked.
And why is that? And why is that? Because men have too much pride to admit that something happened to them. Go ahead.
Yep.
Right.
Something like that happened. Yep.
And you know how you remember what he said about his mother, Trey?
Yeah, he had a horrible relationship with the mom.
What?
A really bad relationship with his mom. Like almost, he said something on the lines of even on her deathbed. Like he said now that she's gone, he go to her gravesite and talk to her and he forgive her now. But even to the day she passed away, he didn't forgive her.
Well, Rashid, I got to say something about that. You know what? He got hold on, Trey. He got a different type of relationship. Because majority black people, black sons love their goddamn mama. They mama love their black sons. It ain't nothing like so that dynamic, he didn't even have the good relationship that most black people
No,
black mama love their goddamn son, and they no
something happened.
Ain't no relationship like the son of black mama. Y'all know that.
Gigi, so says him though. Something happened to her to cause her not like he said she never hugged him.
Wait, Rashida, go ahead, Trey, and then we get to Rashida. What you say, Trey?
If you ever been around a man that has a terrible, broken relationship with his mom,
yes, I have.
It's different from a girl having a broken relationship with her mom. It's different. But when you've been around a man that was hurt by his mom, and he feels like his mom failed him, and she didn't love him in return, that follows man. That follows a man, though. And if you've ever seen a man that was hurt by his mother, that is a hurt that will follow him if he does not get help.
Yeah. Right. And the reason being is you in psychology, you feel like you don't belong, like you shouldn't even be here. Like, you were a mistake. You know what I'm saying? That's how people feel. They're like, why, because basically your mother created, your father did too, but I'm saying you came out of your mother. And if your mother abused you or hated you, or talk down to you, you feel like, why am I even here? You know, and you reciprocate that hate on everyone around you, you know, and that's, so I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's what happens. But the love from a mother is very important. The love from a father, not the love from a father so much, but the love and the direction. In other words, the discipline from a father. Your father is supposed to discipline you, keep you on the right track. Love you, yes, but keep you on the right track, you know, whip you when you're down, you know, get up, let's go. But when mothers treat their children like that, you're right, Trey, they're scarred for life. And then they reciprocate that hate to everyone else they meet. Go ahead.
Yeah, there are other relationships. Yeah.
Especially women, when it's a boy and his mom with the
Yeah.
women. Personally speaking, I know this firsthand, and it's like not giving him an excuse. It's saying that bro really need help. He really need help, but she does too, because they both been through traumatic things as children. This didn't, you know what I'm saying? It was in when they was young, and that's just, come on, that's not. It's not gonna end well if for the baby if they don't get help. So at this point, it's all about breaking the cycle of what they went through and showing a child something different.
Yeah. And that happened in the house too, like his mama. Because if Jeannie mama was in there, right, sometimes she'll hear the argument. And then she might talk to Jeannie and say, I don't like what he said to you. So, I mean, it could have been an interference like that. I can see that.
And I think a lot of the added stress, like I said earlier tonight, you know, like I said, you know, if you're going through some things, if there's a couple that are going through some things, and you got the mother there and you got this brother there, it's adding to the stress level. It's adding to the stress, because I don't need a bunch of people yapping in my ear. We're trying to figure this out, and it's beep, 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 beep. You know what I'm saying? They're chirping. Yep. I call it chirping. You know, they chirp in your ear. But like I said, not saying that they're doing it from a bad place, but people need to be on their own. It's like when you have your kids. You know, the hardest thing to do is to let them go. But when parents come back to live with you, and they have everything to say, they judge everything you do. Well, I would have did this way. I would have did that way. You know, it's my life to live. Step off. You know, so I think having the mother and the brother there, I'm trying to say, everyone, I think it added more stress to their relationship. What do you think?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think it depends on the culture. I know from my father's side, my father family is very close. Where I know my cousin was telling me one time her mom allowed her to go to prom when she was 16 with a 17-year-old boy or something like that, or she was 15. So all of my uncles had a family hall town meeting about her going to prom at 15 with a 17-year-old. And all the uncles, and was a lot of them, they all come together and put her, you know, the 15-year-old girl, and they pretty much grilled her and grilled her mom for doing it. Because on my father's side, it's not as much, but traditionally they are tight, you know, and the men have a lot of say so on what happens. So you know, if you're not used to that dynamic of family, moving as one and feeling like, hey, you are a representation of me, and I'm just looking out for the best of you. Just like people, well, this is going to be a far fetch, but in the Middle East, you know, they take it to the extreme where if somebody goes out here and they shame their family, they're going to take them out of here, okay? Because you're bringing shame to the family name. And I can't imagine if Jeezy is out here, you know, doing horrible stuff or cheating, or the family, you know, think this is going to have a bad reputation. They all want to speak on it. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I don't know if I sound crazy or not. But go ahead. Who was that, Shelly?
No, I think it was.
I was gonna say.
Oh, Rashida. Go ahead, Rashida.
Do y'all think?
Yeah.
Well, one, we already know that his relationship with his mom was like that because he was raised by his grandmother. That has always been out there. He didn't just make that up. But do y'all think him seeing his wife forgive her mother after something so traumatic like that, and then being that loving towards each other, do you think it was an underlying jealousy that he couldn't get the same thing with his
Yeah,
mom?
you know they be jealous, Rashida. Shit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Think,
Mhm.
yeah.
Because in his,
Some guys do be like that. Yeah.
It's something that it's something that he always yearned for. He wanted it so bad, and you get jealous when it's just like seeing somebody in a Ferrari, right? And you're in a Corolla. You're jealous. Because
Mm,
I'm saying it's an analogy because you want that. You want to be that. So yes, when somebody is hurting, when somebody is in pain and somebody is broken and they see somebody else in an amazing relationship, they get very jealous and they get angry. They get spiteful. I'm gonna break that down. I want that, so I'm gonna destroy it. It happens. It really does happen. People get
Jeezy was
jealous.
able,
yeah.
but Jeezy wasn't even, but Jeezy
I
wasn't
think
even
some of
able
y'all
to
got
repair
jealous
his.
out there. Shit. Haven't y'all been before? I know I've been jealous of
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
he wasn't he wasn't even able to repair his because his mother passed before they could do it.
Right. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Do you think that it was like some underlying, like not so much jealousy, like I'm a try to sabotage, but just like
That's
damn, I didn't
good.
get a chance to do that with my mom.
It's
Yeah, he
like regret. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe that's why he wasn't there because it was hard to see. I don't know. I'm just asking what y'all think about it.
no, but I
But how do
hear you,
you fix
Rashida. It
that?
probably was how he probably did have to cry. He already dealing with mental illness and bipolar, and just seeing their dynamic and how she loves her daughter and how the brother loves, and just seeing it. Sometimes, if you're not used to it, you don't think it's possible. Especially if he's around other men that have broken family homes, it's common for them. But
Mm,
when you see a
mm.
fantasy come to reality, like, bitch, this is just not on TV. This actually happened in real life people. Why can't I have that shit? I got all the money in the world, but I
Yep.
don't got the goddamn mama and daddy that love me. Where my daddy at?
Yep.
Where my mama at?
Yep.
Why nobody love me?
Yep.
Was I not good enough? Why? Because he
That's
missed
right.
out on a lot. He missed out on a lot of childhood, a lot of Christmases, a lot of Easters. He missed out
Yeah.
on a lot of traditions. He missed out. He would never have those experiences.
That's why you would think that a man that went through that would do everything to raise all his children, right?
Yeah. And
So that
that's
you
something
break
that,
it.
He don't know how.
Yeah, he don't know how.
You can't
you
buy
He
know,
ain't
it,
got
it,
the tools.
a
But
childhood.
I mean, but that's
Nobody
where we
knows
step in
what
and we got to start learn. I don't know, people. That's why I
Okay,
said try
hold on,
people.
Rashida. You say, okay, because Jeezy has been hurt, shouldn't he stop the curse and deal with his kids better? I think people feel like, F it. My mom, my daddy wasn't there for me. Shit. You're gonna get the same treatment, especially when he see all his homeboys doing the same shit. They have that mentality. Well, ain't nobody help me in the struggle, so you do it yourself. You get out yourself. That's how we all learn. That I think that's his tradition.
Mhm.
And that's why I said
Yeah.
everybody take trauma different because me, I'm a over lover. You know what I'm saying? Some people overprotect, over love, over
Yeah.
when they get treated like that, and some become exactly the same person that did them wrong.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now, Trey,
Yeah.
what you gonna
Mhm.
say?
Oh yeah, I just think that he never got a chance to uh his mother passed before they could repair it. And so in a situation like that, I'm assuming that he's gonna have to always carry that. That's something that's never now he can cope with it. He can cope with it and go on and live a happy life. But that's something that is never gonna leave that man. That broken relationship with his mother. If he felt unloved and betrayed and abandoned by his mom, That's something that will always be with him. Now he can learn to cope with it, but that's a hurt that is gonna always follow
Yeah,
him.
it's a
And
hurt
she
that
passed
always
before they
be
could
there,
even see
Trey.
it.
But when it's constantly pushed in your face and you seeing other people having a real life good relationship and better work, it's painful. It hurtful to watch. God damn it. It really is.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Have y'all ever been
it
there
is. I can
before?
imagine.
Yes, that's why.
A situation where you was kind of like jealous and shit. You know what I mean?
No, that's facts, Gigi. As a kid, that's how I felt. You know, my mom ain't there, but everybody else got their mom. It's not. It's more than a jealousy. It's a sadness.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You feel
Yeah,
like you feel like you feel like you can't achieve anything, and it's not true.
right,
So the thing is that you're going to carry the sadness with you, like
right.
like like Trey was saying, but you can turn that sadness into energy to help other people,
Hmm.
to counsel other people. That's why I became, I got into counseling and things like that, because you can turn that hurt into helping others, and then you're flipping it. You're flipping the script. You're flipping it around. But it's always going to be with you. Trauma always stays with you. But it's up to you how you're going to interpret it. It's up to you if you're going to let it affect your life or not. Now,
Right.
if somebody falls, they're not weak. It's just the way that your
Hmm.
your mind interprets it. Everyone's mind is different. Everyone's IQ is different. If you think on a higher level, you're able to process things differently. Everyone processes things differently, especially trauma. I went through trauma, a lot of trauma as a youngster, but look at me. I raised amazing children. I help people, and I'm soft spoken, but at the same token, I grew up in Queens. I can snap out if I have to. I can go to I can do what I got to do, but I try to be the nicest person I can to anyone I meet. And the thing is that it's up to you how you process your pain. But everyone goes through pain. Anybody who tells me that they had a perfect life is lying. No one has a perfect life. Everybody goes through some stuff. Everybody. That's how we were created. We're flawed. We were created to be flawed. And it's up to you how you process it. It's up to you how you treat everyone else around you. Go ahead.
Okay,
That's true.
Shelly, what's your thoughts? I'm about to close it up in a minute. What's your closing thoughts, Shell?
Oh, I thought you was gonna get on Diddy.
Oh, well, go ahead. Turn it to Diddy, Shelly.
Yeah, because Diddy was trying to get out of those SA charges.
Talk
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, that's what she got. She said he talked to the judge about knocking down some of them charges. I'm trying to figure out if he just talking about Cassie because he had other charges. But anyway, thing
It's
I was
that
gonna
other
say
girl,
about
Shelley. You
Well, I
huh?
think
remember? You remember the lady who filed the charges after Cassie, the one from 91.
You talking about his housemaid?
No, the one that was in college, and she said she went out to dinner with him, and
Oh
he put
yeah,
something with the Aaron
yeah,
Hall situation. It's her.
yeah.
So they basically saying that because he put the tape out throughout the industry and showed people, it was not a law in 91 for that. So it was no law stating
The
that you couldn't
girl's
put.
name is Dickerson. That
Yeah.
Dickerson girl talked about Dickerson yesterday. And I'm sorry to cut you off, Rashida, but they're saying that she was in a music video too. I guess they're saying that was her compensation. But go ahead.
Yeah. So they basically saying when the supposed crime took place, there was no law in place then. So it should be thrown out.
yeah.
And is
Yeah,
this
yeah.
the young lady that was in the studio picture? Because she claimed they flew her into the studio and done the same thing to her. The young girl that was sitting on Diddy lap in the studio.
I don't know if that's her.
I
Is
don't
that
know.
No, no,
Rashida?
It
no.
must be
It's
another
the girl
girl he
from
done
the
attacked.
college. It
Let
was the
Trey
one
talk.
from the
Go ahead, Trey.
college.
Yeah, one from so that's
Yeah,
not the
because
girl. Trey, talk.
those are two different ones. Now that one will still hold because that was more recent than the '91 incident. The one in the studio, that was well after he became P. Diddy. And he was already Diddy, and everybody knew who he was. He was Diddy. He was a household name. The one in 91 was before he became a household name.
Yeah, he just got so much on his plate that he has done. I don't even think he can keep up with it.
Yeah. It's going to be lawsuit.
So many cases.
It's going to be lawsuit on top of lawsuit on top of lawsuit. It's going to be, I mean, this is going to drag on, I think, for a year. I mean, I'm being for real. Like, it's going to drag on. Then he can continue them. So it possibly might be a couple years before he even sees jail, because you can continue and continue and continue. And he has the capital to do that. But with Cassie, the one thing with Cassie that I'm trying to figure out is that she took that payout, right, in a civil case. Yeah. She took that big payout. If she signed a non-disclosure, she may not be able to speak on anything. I don't know exactly how it's going to work.
Well, they said it was criminal that excused any NDA she signed.
Yeah. It's just criminal. This is such a confusing case. This case is so confusing.
I think Trey's trying to talk.
It's the FBI. Okay, when you have an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, let's just say I have Gigi makes me sign an NDA, but the only problem with that, if it's criminal activity and they come to question me and the FBI comes to question me, I can't tell them, well, I'm under an NDA. The FBI is going to say, we don't give a heck what happened. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't apply. And already, let me tell you this. Cassie Ventura, if this goes to a federal court, we all know at this point that Cassie is working with the FBI. We all know that at this point. She's working with Homeland Security and the FBI, and Little Rod is too. We know these things. We know this. But where Diddy is going to mess up, his drug mule has now been officially charged with that felony. If you think he's not singing, you're crazy. And that was the whole purpose of taking him down on the day of the raid, because they want him to go ahead and sing. They want him to sing. And if you think that his lawyers haven't already told him, look, go ahead and tell him what you know. Let's work with this. Let's get ahead of this. That's what a good attorney would tell you, right?
All right. Let's add BTF into the mix. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So can you talk to us right now? We're talking about the new charges Diddy has been faced with, or not the new charges, but Diddy is trying to fight, saying, hey, this girl Dickerson, she was in the music video and this and that. What do you know about it?
Okay, so we talked about this yesterday, and I did do a little bit of research. So I do believe that Diddy's lawyers, where they wanted what they said about the revenge porn statute not being in place at the time, they have merit. So this is not that the case is going to be dismissed. Her lawyers now have to refile. If they went before, what happened was they went before court, and Diddy's lawyers said, we want a motion to dismiss these specific lines of the lawsuit that talk about revenge porn. So it's not that the judge is going to throw out the case. If the judge rules in favor of Diddy, which I believe he will, the woman's lawyer are going to have to take the paperwork back. They have to refile without those charges or those accusations, so to speak, and just refile the case. But it does make her case weaker. And the reason I say it makes it weaker is because at this point, then, I believe she said she went to dinner with him and she went to the bathroom and he put something in her drink because her legs got all rubbery and she couldn't control herself. And then he said, "Oh, come with me. I have to do a couple errands." And then that's when, like, she was pretty much incapacitated. He did what he did to her, and then she found out the next day, because I believe somebody told her that was working in the studio with him, that he showed them a recording of what he did.
Oh.
Now, the problem is, I don't believe she has the recording.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
so it's not that I don't believe her, but when you are, it might come down to he said, she said.
Okay.
In other words, there's no forensics because she did not go to the hospital. She did not go do the R kit at a hospital. And so without the forensics and without the video, because she only knows about the video because somebody told her that was in the studio with Diddy, and he was showing all the people in the room. Now she might subpoena them, and maybe they will corroborate. I can't even say the word. Is it corroborate?
Yeah, cooperate.
Yeah, cooperate.
With the B, corroborate the story.
Corroborate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But to prove revenge porn, let's just say they let that in.
Keyword revenge P or something like that.
Oh, I'm sorry, revenge video. You can't. I think the way the statute is written is that somebody took this item without your knowledge, which that does fit into the statute, but that they distributed it or put it on the internet. Now, I don't think he was dumb enough to text it to somebody, but I do think he showed it to people and it was on his phone. But I doubt that tape is anywhere.
Got it. Okay.
So the rest of her case without it, yes, if somebody incapacitates you and you're unconscious, that means you couldn't give consent. But without forensics, without video, I don't know how strong her civil suit is with him. She has a chance.
Yeah. Somebody have a video. They like bragging too much. Somebody got a copy of it.
Well, I don't know if he sent it to somebody, because the way she described it in her filing is that someone told her and they were in the studio and he showed it to them on his phone.
So once it go into a phone, it's forever in there, right? It's forever in the cloud.
But
I don't know.
She's saying that the witness is shaky. Like that's what it's a lot of he say, she say, but we don't have any evidence, Shelly.
Well,
I had a relationship with Diddy, and then he put something in my drink, Shelly, after we went out to eat. And then one of his homeboys said that he was doing X, Y, and Z to me, and I didn't even know it. So that's what she's coming up with. And people can try to take what she said because she is a victim and say whatever she said, it is correct. But then you have others that don't, they just want to see everything, and they're not going to take a side until more come up. So she's saying that she has to refile now, right?
Yeah.
I think she has to just refile, deleting if the judge, when they went to court for the initial hearing, when Diddy filed that motion, not to dismiss the entire lawsuit, but to dismiss those pieces with the revenge video. She did, in her filing, the original filing before the motion, she did also list the name of the person who told her that the video was on his phone. And that at that time, he didn't want to come forward because he was afraid he was going to lose his record deal, whatever he was in the works with. But I think after this time, I believe he, or maybe several people, have said that now that this time has passed, if we are subpoenaed, we will go to court.
Well, I think Chief Santana, you said, why would he keep a tape around? To brag, he done that with 50 Cent. He sent a tape of him and Cassie to 50 Cent. And 50 Cent said, did you just send me this essay tape? And he tried to say, no. He said, man, I just received it. And when he traced it, Diddy sent that tape to him. So to answer your question.
The craziest thing.
He sent that girl tape out too, and it was Devontae from Jodeci.
Oh, I love Jodeci.
Yeah, he was listed on the filing.
Yeah, that's who he sent it to. Him and a few other people. That's who told him.
The craziest thing about criminals, the craziest thing is they keep evidence. It's like you should, like, in other words, like if you have a firearm or you have a tape or you have any kind of evidence, like they keep it as a souvenir. It's
That's
like,
right.
it's I mean, literally, like, you know, like Italians, like we would like get rid of it, you know what I'm saying? We would burn it or throw it in the river, you know? But like a lot of people, they'll keep it as like almost like a token of like their accomplishment, you know?
Yeah,
so
like a serial murder. They keep it to watch it. They keep it as a souvenir.
You got it. You touched on it perfectly. So, and it's the wildest thing because their mind works differently. In other words, they think that they are so untouchable, that they're so smarter than everyone else. They're going to keep this piece of stuff, you know, and I can review it. But that's what gets them caught. And I think they found stuff when they did the raids. I think they found stuff. And I think he's done. I think he's done.
Oh, yes. I believe that too.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. It's almost like you caused trauma, right? And it's almost like you're proud of it. Not you, I'm saying the person. They're almost proud of the trauma they're causing. So they have to keep it as like a token of what they did. Look at how strong I am with this horrible thing I did. You know, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. I've seen tapes when I used to work. I seen tapes that would make you throw up. You know, and it's like, yeah, it's disgusting. Go ahead.
And if she doesn't have the tape personally, I'm pretty sure they found it in that raid. If it really exists.
Well, hopefully, if they do find the video, that really would help her case, because even if the judge said, you know, you can't bring revenge video into this case, she will still be able to use that video as evidence to show them that she was unconscious.
Right.
And when you are unconscious and having S with a person, that's actually SA, because with SA and you're unconscious, that means you couldn't give consent.
Yeah, you're not comparable. So in other words, you're not giving consent. You're not giving consent to the act.
So in other words, to say that even if they throw out the charge of him sending it to people, he still will be charged with the actual act of SA.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the case is still about her SA, just without the revenge video.
I think his biggest charges are going to be trafficking. Trafficking is why HSI got involved. In other words, moving women that were not cooperative to different states, and that's trafficking. And I think that's what they're going to get him on. They're going to get him on trafficking. Look, they got Al Capone on tax evasion. You know, the man. You know what I'm saying? But like they're going to find a loophole to get this guy.
Exactly.
And they're not going to let up. They're not letting this go. HSI is very powerful. HSI can reach all over the world. You know, and people were talking about FBI. FBI ain't touching this. It's HSI. HSI is getting involved. HSI took over the investigation. FBI will back them up. But HSI is who's running this because it's trafficking. It's moving girls and men to other states without their consent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're going
freak parties.
That's it. That's what they're going.
And can I point out something about the age of consent? What I did was, okay, allegedly Little Rod has evidence that there were underage girls at these parties and on the jet and at Diddy's homes. Okay, so in some states, the age of consent is 16, right? In a lot of states, it's just 16. Some states, it's 17. And then in some states, it's even 18. Did you guys know that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you know this? Did you know this? Did you know in West Virginia, like 20 years ago, it was 14? Disgusting.
And then they
disgusting. Yeah.
Okay, they upped it. So I did a little digging, and I said, well, let me see what the age of consent was in the home in the states where Diddy has his two homes. The two homes that were raided were in where? California and Florida, right? Miami and LA, right?
And New York.
Guess what? But they didn't raid New York. But yeah. But he has homes in New York too. So there may be some. I think in New York it's 17.
I think they said they did raid that one, but they couldn't show it because he don't own it. He's renting that place.
Yeah. They raided all three. They raided all three at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, but then they raided all three. Okay. But they raided the homes in California and Florida, right? Miami and LA. Those were the homes allegedly where Little Rod was at the most as well. So I looked at the age of consent and I got to thinking, well, if some of the girls were underage, I'm wondering how young they were, because if they were at least 16 in those 16 states, you can't prosecute him, right? It's no crime.
It is if he gave them a substance. It is.
Yeah, that's what they working on.
But that is another thing. But the underage part. Did you guys know that some states in the U.S. the age of consent is 16? If you're 45 and they catch you having sex with a 16-year-old,
what catch you having SA or S or something?
Well, you're having if a 45-year-old is caught having S with a 16-year-old in those 16-year-old age of consent states, that's no crime. Now that's disgusting to us, right?
Unless their parents say something different.
Yeah, just imagine when you was 14.
Right. They still minors. So if they got parents and the parents don't consent.
No, it doesn't matter.
Hold on, let him finish.
If a 45-year-old is caught with a 16-year-old and in that state the age of consent is 16, the age of consent is 16. But get this though. Get this. So I went and I said, well, let me look at the age of consent where his two homes were, the ones that got raided. Guess what the age of consent is in California and Florida?
12 years old.
18. So he would be screwed either way. It's 18 in Cali and it's 18 in Florida. Did y'all know that?
Nah, I thought it was 16.
So back in
It is
91,
18.
what was the age? Was that the thing in
Oh,
91?
well, see, I don't know about
In
that.
91, the ages was lower across the board. All states, the
Yeah.
ages was lower. They raised the ages.
See, in
Yeah.
right now, see with her, she needs to find the tape, and her lawsuit is totally separate from the case that Homeland Security is forming against Diddy. So even
Exactly.
if they totally dismiss hers, even if they were to totally dismiss hers, hers has nothing to do with the case that Homeland Security is forming against Diddy. That's totally separate from what they have going on.
Yeah.
You know, they probably know about that, but they're like, but even if they dismiss it and they never found a tape for her, that's not gonna affect the case that Homeland Security is working on, though. That's just a
Yeah.
silence.
Man,
And
Diddy
and that,
done. He got bodies. He's done.
Yeah, I mean, you can make S tapes. You can make S tapes. I mean, if in the comfort of your own home, you can make S tapes. You can. And I mean, look at pornography. I mean, you know, it's prevalent, but you can make S tapes in your own home. But the thing is that if you're doing them without the person's consent, or if they are incapacitated or passed out, now you're talking about other charges. You're talking about our charges, things like that. But what they're going after him is, what I'm interested in this is that is all they're talking about trafficking, him taking people against their will to other states, out of the country, and that's what's fascinating to me is like human trafficking. That's why HSI got involved, because it's human trafficking. But it's just it's fascinating to see how this is going to come out. But to me, I'm just, this is my opinion. Cassie seems to me like a very sweet, kind-hearted person, and I think she had all the goodies on him, and that's why he paid her $30 million in 24 hours. He gave her $30 million
Yeah.
in 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if you come at me and you sue me, we're gonna go to court. We're gonna drag it out. We're gonna drag it all the way out. But no, he's just like, here you go,
Yeah.
making it rain.
Trying to make
Making
it go
rain.
away.
Yeah.
What
So
y'all
that's
feel
what he
about
did.
what Aubrey said the other day?
Hold on, I think Trey was talking. What you say, Trey?
Oh,
No, I just want to say he made a good point, because you have to look at it like this. If he was willing to give her $30 million in less than 24 hours, and that's a record as far as I'm concerned. If he was willing to give her $30 million in less than 24 hours, why not just use that $30 million? He would have spent less defending his name. Am I wrong?
Of course, a tenth of that.
Right.
3-4 million. Get a good lawyer for $3-4 million and drag it in the courts for 2 years. He'd be all right.
Exactly. He would have spent less defending his name. If he really felt like, oh, well, you don't have anything. You know what? You don't have anything. So we're gonna call your bluff. You don't have anything. She had something, you got.
Oh,
And
she had something. Yeah. She had
And I
a whole
wonder,
lot.
I wonder if part of the money was she had to give over all the evidence she had on him, like the tapes and stuff.
Trey want to finish his talking points. Go ahead, Trey.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but this is where he's gonna go wrong. This is where he's gonna go wrong. I still say, and I keep bringing him up, you guys. Little Rod has the most. I don't know what Cassie has, but Little Rod has damaging evidence too. And I say that only, and I keep bringing this up. He was the first to claim in his suit that Brendan Paul was the one supplying the drugs.
Right.
Clearly in his suit, Brendan Paul is the drug mule. Well, guess what? On the day of the raid, one person got arrested. Brendan Paul for drug possession. And now Paul has been charged with felony possession. Little Rod, that gave his suit credence to me. That let me know that Little Rod knew what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That was a claim that was proven to be true in Little Rod's suit.
Mm-hmm.
What Diddy has done is, I'm gonna tell you what Diddy did. A lot of people say, well, why was he so careless with Little Rod? He was just a producer that was around. In Diddy's mind, he's untouchable. So he looked at Little Rod as, it didn't occur to Diddy that someone like Little Rod could bring him down. You're an unknown producer. I'm bringing you into my world. You're lucky to even be here. No one knows who you are. He didn't think in a million years that an unknown producer that was inside his studios and his homes could secretly record him and take snapshots of things that were going on.
Uh-huh.
Who is he? You underestimated him. And you underestimated Cassie. And I'm going to tell you why he underestimated Cassie. This was a girl that he victimized for years. He controlled her for years with fear and intimidation. When he looked at her, he saw a weak woman. So in order for him to pay a woman that he victimized for years, who he thought had no strength, in order for him to give her $30 million in less than 24 hours, he knew she had damning evidence against him. And I think when he gave her the 30 mil, he thought, she has the 30 mil, that's the end of that, go away, right? But what Diddy didn't know, Cassie was already working with the FBI and Homeland Security. I think that whole thing was already in motion. Y'all don't think so? It was what he didn't know, it was already too late. And he didn't know it. It was already too late. And so when Little Rod came out, now you have two people. Do you guys remember the speech he did at the BET Awards where they gave him the Legend Award? And he had Young Miami there with the sign saying, "Go Poppy." Y'all remember that? Okay. Do y'all remember the people he thanked in his acceptance speech and what he said? Do y'all remember that? He thanked the girl KK Coram, who we now know, they said that she was like his Ghislaine Maxwell. He thanked her. He thanked TD Jakes. That's interesting too, knowing what we have heard since then. And he thanked Cassie for holding him down in the bad times. He was intimidating her. He was intimidating her on a stage on national television. And if you notice, it was right after that Cassie came after him with that lawsuit. It was right after that. I think she saw that night. He meant for her to see it. And she probably said to herself, you have no idea what's about to happen to you. Because he had a smirk on his face. He thought that all of that was behind him, and it was not. The sad part about this that we're just not talking enough about, in those two states where he has homes, if any of those girls were beneath the age of 18, as Little Rod is claiming, because it's 18 in Florida and it's 18 in Cali, you can fact check it. He's in a world of trouble. He's in a world of trouble. And as far as trafficking, if they were underage girls, they can't consent under the age of 18 in those states. So if he moved them from LA to Miami, or Miami to New York, or New York back to Cali, or however it went, that's trafficking. So they had evidence that somebody had been moved from one location to the next illegally. And so like the man pointed out earlier, a lot of people say, I don't think Diddy would keep that around. Yes, he would. Yes, he would. Those were souvenirs. Those were trophies for him. He wanted to go back and look at things he had done in the past. He wanted to go back and look at how he had degraded people and manipulated them. He wanted to go back and see how he had inflicted emotional pain on people. So he kept that around. And when they raided that house, I think somebody in his circle told him that some of the evidence was still in the homes. Whatever evidence Cassie has, they've already seen inside out. Whatever evidence Little Rod has, they've already seen inside out. And he had better hope that his drug mule, who according to Little Rod was at these parties, and he was around all the time and saw all of these illegal activities happening, he better hope that he doesn't decide to sing like a canary to save his own ASS, like most people would do. Because I'm convinced that's why they arrested him in the first place on the day of the raid, to shake him down and make him squeal on Diddy. It's coming, you guys. It's coming. And it'll be interesting to see, because then we're going to get to see all the complete list of charges that they have against him. Every charge. And Diddy has a team, you guys. His lawyers are preparing for that arrest. They know it's coming. It's not going to shock his legal team. They know it's coming. That's what he's paying them for. They know it's coming. They're preparing for it. Because he's going to have list after list after list after list after list. And whatever those charges are, everything they charge him with, they already have evidence. They already have evidence. This man is potentially going to, at the age of 55, spend the rest of his life in jail. Him being found guilty of only 2 of those charges is enough to sit him in there for the rest of his life. And that's that. And that's all I have on that.
Well, Trey, would you join us tomorrow and we'll just have a special on Diddy only at 9:15?
I'll be here.
Oh, at 9:15? All right. And what do you want the topic to be about tomorrow?
Act right, though. Tell KFC to act right.
Well, I can't click on her.
Tell KFC to act right.
Will she hear you? I can't click on her. I wish I could, but it stopped me. You know, Blog Talk Radio, it cuts me off, so I can't do anything in my studio. So KFC, you know, much love. I'm glad you came up here. Hopefully you join us tomorrow. Thank you guys. Yeah, I'm here, and I just want to thank everybody that came up. Mike, Santana, sorry we did not get to you. New Generation, sorry we didn't get to you. Shelly Boo, Rashida, BTF, I really enjoyed you. Please join us tomorrow. And we'll just keep it on Diddy at 9:15. I will try to do another live where I talk about other topics other than Diddy, but I guess I'll do Diddy's on his separate lives. Do you think that'd be better?
Yes.
Trey, you got to say yes like you mean it.
Get it up.
I didn't like that yes either.
Yes, that'll be perfect.
Okay. So yeah, somebody was saying, so when you were talking, why I didn't say anything? Because Trey, he's a good storyteller. And Trey, he can tell a story and he just goes on. And it doesn't work if people asking him questions and interrupting him, because he's just a good storyteller. So I let him tell a story because that's what he does. He's a storyteller. He's a solo artist. Okay. All right. Well, I'm out of here. I love you guys. And I'll see y'all later. Rashida, anything you want to say?
No, I'll see y'all tomorrow. It was great. And yeah, hopefully you said it's just Diddy tomorrow.
At 9:15, I want to do another live without the Diddy.
Yeah.
So I can pay for my channel. So I just want to be Diddy. Then when I try to do something else, I can't make it work because it's just consumed with Diddy. So yeah, 9:15, I stick with the Diddy, but I'm gonna have to try to do another live with something else so I can mix it up.
All right.
So yeah, Shelly, anything you want to say?
No, I just love you guys. And the lady that, what's your name again? I can't pronounce it, but I saw what you said. Yeah.
BTF.
Yes,
Well,
hi.
go ahead, BTF.
No,
I'm
Shell,
sorry.
you called her out. You said you wanted to, you said something about the lady.
Oh, no, not that lady. I was talking about the lady in the chat.
Oh, okay.
I was saying love you too. There's a lady in the chat talking about love you. And I said love you too.
Any last words?
I think I just wanted to mention that for the Dickerson case,
Yes.
her lawyers are just going to have to refile those papers without the wording. If the judge, because remember, his lawyers filed the motion to dismiss those charges on the lawsuit. I don't know what the judge said in answer, like if he agreed with Diddy or if he didn't. I'm not sure. But if the judge agreed with Diddy, that doesn't mean that the case is dismissed. It just means that her lawyers have to refile all the documents. Then another court date is going to be set up. And I want people to understand that if they have to refile, and let's say they refile on Monday, that doesn't mean they go back to court on Tuesday. It's probably a month or 2 months down the line. And this is, again, another Diddy delaying tactic. They're going to do everything in their power to keep pushing that court date out with this case so that he can put all his money into the criminal files that have not yet come down on him. And that's it.
All right. Thank you. We love you
Thank
all.
you.
And I'm looking in the comments. People say, talk about Jennifer. A Lopez, talk about Amanda Seals. I'm jotting them down. All right. Talk about Jag. Talk about Tasha K. Talk about TD Jakes. All right. Well, keep on commenting and tell us. All right. And I will see you guys later. DJ, I can never find a song.